Hey everybody, hope you guys are having a good day. Might as well show my face earlier since that timer is still messed up. But what I need to do now is find something. Nah, that's not going to be anything good like there. That's fine. Okay, let me just start off like this. And we should be good to go. Let me move that around here a little bit. And there we go. I'm going to refresh a couple pages on my end though. Let's see how this works out. My comments section is all messed up. There we go, looking a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Okay, buddy, happy to see you guys back. Let me see what else I can move on here very fast. I had to reset everything as my computer crashed like literally half an hour before the stream. So I think everything is ready to go. Let me toss this on here right here. Hey, Little Cole, happy to see you back. Hey, Bideford, hope you guys are doing okay. Joseph and Skull Guy, welcome to the Ruby Love, my man. Thanks for subscribing to the membership. Let me go over here. There we go. Okay. So I know people are going to be trickling in here over the next few minutes. I know views have been down. I think just because YouTube didn't like that I took like a week and a half off for having COVID. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time for me to get my viewers back up to like the 200 view level that I had before I had COVID. So let's see how that works out, because I know YouTube sometimes when I take a break, they just decide not to notify people that I go live. So that's going to take a little bit of a minute, but I'm fine with that. Until I get the viewership back up, everybody, these are going to be much more casual streams where I kind of just, I mean, we do our technical analysis and stuff like that, but we could talk about a whole bunch of different stuff here, which will be nice to, you know, to go, since, you know, the market's pretty slow right now anywhere. But okay, everybody, let's kind of talk about what's going on here over the past few hours. I had to take yesterday off to do some personal stuff, but you know, we did have some good stuff happening. We'll talk about the last 2 days since from the last time I talked to you guys. And hey, Corinda, hey, Chef, happy to see you guys back. Nico, far from broke, happy to see you guys all here. Just to reiterate what I just said, YouTube is kind of punishing me a little bit for not streaming that week and a half that I had COVID. So I'm fine with the views being lower, but it is just going to take some time for me to get the viewers back. So we'll see how this turns out. On the other side, I've been able to work on doing longer form content, everybody. And I thought this was pretty cool. Like the video I posted the other day, where is it, right here, about inflation and the railroad strikes. It's still getting views. So I'm still getting subscribers from this. It's made a little bit of money, not a lot, of course. It's like $10. Cool. I don't mind the money that much, as much as, you know, getting some growth here. So my editing is getting better, and YouTube is recognizing that my editing is getting better, which is awesome. So thank you guys for watching that video earlier. I really do appreciate it. YouTube saw that people liked it, and it's been pushing it out. Not like crazy outright. It's only 2,000 views, but it is pushing it out a lot more than my other content. If you guys know my day-to-day like update videos, they only get like a few hundred views. So this is pretty nice to me. So I will be doing more of these videos coming up. I have a video coming out tomorrow about buying low market cap coins in the bear market. One that actually has proper editing, and I've added a couple extra steps in there because a couple of you guys were confused on my last video. That's going to be cool as well. So with all that kind of aside here, let's talk about what's going on with Bitcoin over the past few days. So to reiterate what I told you guys a couple days ago here, I told you guys I was going to continue to dollar cost average, but I wasn't opening up any new longs at these levels. Okay, I told you guys the logic for, if you guys did want to buy a few days ago, the logic, maybe I can find a naked chart here that doesn't really have any technical analysis. This is good enough for us right now. Let me take off the moving average. There we go, to the weekly chart. So I told you guys if you wanted to buy, it would be a good time a couple days ago for maybe a short-term trade, because the goal here was to have, oops, sorry, the magnet's on, of course. The goal here was to have a double bottom, a bottom and a bottom, and you're hoping we can make our way back up here towards 25,241. Now, I'm a little bit more skeptical about getting back up to that level, and you guys know why, but just in case you guys are new to the channel or you weren't here a couple days ago, which is fine. My theory for what's about to happen over the next few weeks here, let's just call it 3 to 4 weeks right now, probably closer to 3, but you know, I could be off by a week, and that will be important here. Let me add on a 20-week moving average and the 200 weekly moving average. Okay, so right now you guys see we're heading for this death cross here. We've never had it happen before. It's gonna happen here. I'm not entirely sure when it's gonna happen. The best way I can do this actually is to actually add white lines onto my chart here for a second, And if I'm able to do this, I should be able to actually pinpoint exactly the weeks here. So this is going to look very ugly. It never looks pretty when you do it like this. But all right, let's zoom in a little bit. Let's zoom in a little bit. Zoom in a little bit more. And if I kind of follow this trajectory here, let's just say it kind of follows along that speed, that pace. And we kind of follow that pace right there. I mean, it should really happen, I'm assuming, September 19th. Currently it's September 9th, so 10 days from now. So that means not this week, not next week, the week after that, okay? So 3 weeks time, but it looks like the earlier part of 3 weeks here is when the death cross actually happens. Whether or not we make a strong move to test out that level beforehand, that remains to be seen. We all know that over the next couple weeks, Jerome Powell is going to be coming out here raising interest rates probably at a 75 basis point rate hike. That's going to cause a lot of chaos in the markets, especially if he continues to be as hawkish, okay? Now, let me fix this very fast because it just hurts my eyes to look at it. Back to black, back to black. There we go. All right. So what do I think is going to happen over the next few days? Pretty much the same thing we've been talking about for the last month here, month and a half. My feeling is, let me get a ray here. We don't need anything else really crazy. Just a couple of rays. There we go. So we have these two levels of support here now. Actually, we even have another one because we just broke down below it. So let me just use this one instead. We have $18,510.77, and we have $17,622. I put much more faith in the 17,622 level because we already broke down below this one. And, you know, even though we didn't break down below it by much, we did break down below it. And that is an important thing. That means that level of support is now weaker because of it. Now, I think we're going to have a massive battle. I can actually just replace this right now because I think this is all that's going to matter. Okay, it's good. That's fine. Yeah, no, just squiggly line, but deal with it. We're going to have a big battle here as Bitcoin tries to break out above the 20-week moving average, or we get rejected back down, break down out of this new, I want to say, flag that we're probably making now, and then we retest some of these levels like 17,000. That's going to be the big battle going forward. I wonder if I go over here to the daily chart. I mean, at this point, is it really going to be anything special? So we got like a flag up there, upper trend line like that. More of a bullhorn, like, you know, they're going out a little bit. Not so much of a flag here, but the weekly chart, does it make a difference? No, I'm not gonna. I'll call it like a bullhorn pattern. I'm not entirely sure the exact name for it. But we're going to be watching closely to see if we break down from here. But again, I think that big level we're going to have to break down if you want to open up some really large shorts is going to be that support level around 17,715 or whatever. I'm watching closely, guys. I'm pretty excited to see what happens. But, you know, to me personally, I have so much uncertainty about what's going to happen as this death cross occurs. And you guys know, we just never had this happen before, where the 20-week moving average crosses down below the 200. We've come close on some of the last bear markets, you know, organic bear markets. COVID really wasn't an organic bear market, so you saw how fast it came down and get ripped back up. But we came close in 2019. We came very, very close in 2015. But, you know, and then we didn't have a 200 weekly moving average before that. But, you know, this will be the first year because the market's never been in this type of spot. So it'll be really fun to see how much further we come down, or if we're able to do some type of major reversal here and kind of tick back up for the next few months. I think a lot of this has to do with what the NASDAQ and the dollar index are looking like at the moment, because I do think at least up until this death cross happens, we do have room for Bitcoin to continue running. I want to say for the next 2 weeks, maybe. We have room. I'm not going to say we are, but we have room to run up. So you guys don't have to feel as bad if you want to be buying right now for some short-term plays. Because you guys know I'm still dollar cost averaging at this point in time. But if we go over here and take a quick peek at the NASDAQ, I can get rid of all this junk for now. Oh, sorry, Loki was over here nibbling at my knee, and I was like, what the heck is going on here? Move that right there. Okay. You can see that the NASDAQ didn't come down nearly as far as Bitcoin did relative to the price, so we didn't get anywhere near as close to these lows all the way over here, like around 11,000. We're still only around like what, $12,000. Currently at 12,500. That's a pretty good move for the market right now. I think right now, ultimately, what we're going to be watching is to see if we can ever get back above this 50-week moving average here. If we can get above the 50-week moving average, I might be more bullish on Bitcoin going into the end of the year here, where maybe we might even have a Q4 rally as the holidays pop in here. I'm not going to say if we break above that, the bear market is over or anything like that, but that will give you a little bit of hope that we may have an extended rally going on into Q4, which could be interesting. Again, you know me, I'm more pessimistic than optimistic about this market just because we're already in a bearish market, but I am looking at this pretty closely here, and I want to give you guys, both sides of the picture. Okay. Now, there's one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, because a lot of you guys have been asking me about this in Discord, channels, and all types of stuff. There's two big things happening with Luna and LUNAC. First, let's talk about LUNAC, because I think the majority of you guys were asking questions about that 2 days ago. And LUNAC has been an amazing play. It's been doing fantastic. We'll talk about it here. Depending on what you guys are looking for, you guys have probably scaled out at some of these certain levels here. If you guys go by my strategy of Fibonacci extension levels, if you guys like to buy and hold and hold and hold and hold for some of these meme plays to work out, awesome, that's your strategy. Just make sure it's working for you, and make sure that data is all in your trading journal, okay? What I've been using, and what I showed you guys a couple days ago, is I'm more likely to be selling Luna Classic, rather than buying, because of where we are compared on my Fibonacci extension levels here. And what I've been using, as you guys know, is this low, this high, that been come back over here to this low. And you guys can see there's two different methods you guys can use for Fibonacci extensions if you guys have watched any of my tutorials here. Now, first one is we have your basic level. Let me see which one this is actually. This is probably with fib levels based. Yeah. So this is with fib levels based on log scale turned on. This is a daily chart. So you can see how we've had some resistances up here, resistance at the 1. Usually we sell at the 1. Usually I will sell at the 1. Usually I end up leaving profit on the table. But if you ask me, buying down here and selling at the 1 that's still 200% profit, I'm still very happy to be walking away with that amount of profit here. Now, something really cool happened as we have an opportunity, I think, to even go higher to the next Fibonacci extension level, which is at 0.000722. This is an extremely risky opportunity. So risky that I myself am not even making this trade. I'm perfectly happy enough to be trading the options and making the money that, the plays I give to you guys every now and again. But if you guys tweak this down a little bit and you guys turn off fib levels based on log scale, then you guys get a different level of Fibonacci extensions. So this one's a little bit different, as you guys know, but you guys should normally use both of these and see which one has been most accurate as the uptrend. If we go back a couple seconds, you guys will have realized that this one right here, if you kind of zoom in, you see how that didn't really work out as well. It worked out at the 1. Excuse me, and it worked out right here. So it did have its uses. It did work a little bit here. However, if we go back over here and turn off the fib levels based on log scale, you see it's just a little bit more accurate. Not as accurate here with the 1 though. More accurate up here, and accurate up here, and accurate up here. So you can use both of them, and you can without having to worry that one is the only way you should be, like only this one works, only this one works for me. It's good to be using both of them. Okay. All right, now if we go back over here though to the 4-hour chart, you guys will see it's not as accurate. Obviously we trade mostly off of day candles here, not the 4-hour charts, but 4 hours can be important. Some resistance up here, some resistance on the 1. So now you see on the 4-hour chart, the 1 was a little bit more valuable here. But at this point in time, we really reached a peak here as far as LUNAC is concerned. So just be careful. If you guys want to take an opportunity to buy this, your best bet would be to buy on a very large dip and just hold on for dear life. Too risky for me, as I told you guys before. I bought lots of LUNAC a long time ago, as you guys know. Not a lot, like what, $400 worth. But that was all the way back over here. Like when, yeah, actually it was like way over here. I bought the upswing here, and then I sold a lot of it over here, and I have a teeny bit of it left. And to be frank, I'm not going to sell it. I'm just going to see what happens to it. I mean, I would be wise to probably scale out or sell some of it right now. but I made my money with it, right? So now I'm just waiting to see what happens. If it goes even higher, awesome. I'm just having fun with it at this point. Now, as far as Luna is concerned, not Luna Classic. Let me see if I can find Luna here. Luna has kind of gone parabolic over the last few days. Everybody's been talking about it, having some fun plays with it. Let's see. There we go. Now, this one's a little bit different. Probably best to go to the, I don't know, which one do we want to use here? I haven't done technical analysis on Luna in quite a bit of time here. What's the best one to do? So is this the low point here? Nope, we got low point right here. Okay. Back up to the high. Is that the low point? No, that's the low point right here. This one's a little bit interesting because it just kind of went parabolic out of nowhere. You guys can see that we did end up getting rejected off of this one right here around the $5.68 level. But I mean, this thing really did shoot up, and there wasn't really many people there trying to stop us from going higher as far as Luna is concerned. If you guys want to continue buying Luna, I think Luna is probably the stronger thing to be, or the better thing to be buying right now, frankly, just because you can see how it still has strength. We're holding this level of support currently, and we're trying to make another leg up here over the next few, let's just call it hours. I don't know how many days this thing is going to continue to pop off. But, you know, if you guys want to be trading this, I would have a stop loss around $4.60 and see where it goes. That's a pretty hefty stop loss, which means you are going to be on the hook to lose a little bit more money than normal. But that's the risk you take on by trading something that's this volatile. You don't want to be shaken out because coins like this, they can be heavily manipulated, and they're kind of designed to shake out weak hands or new traders that, like, you know, I only want to have a 5% stop loss. Like 5 or 10 is my normal standard stop loss, but on a very aggressive play like this, you want to give it a little bit more space. So let's say some new trader comes in and says, hey, I want to buy right now and I only want to lose 5%. Well, 5% is right here. And you can see if we kind of go off of this little, where we have been over the past, few hours, we can easily drop 5%, and then eventually, drop 5%, consolidate, and then eventually just take off and go rocketing. And then you're going to be really mad that you sold right here, and then it just kind of went boom down the road, right? So, again, personally, these are very high risk coins. Be very careful if you guys want to get into them. But there's an opportunity to make money here. Don't get me wrong. I would try to trade a breakout if you can. There's not going to be very many breakouts on this just because of how crazy this all looks. But the last one you might be looking for right here is there we go. We broke out a few minutes ago. We broke the downtrend, went sideways. Now we're waiting to see if we can actually break out into an upward trend. And that's the next move here. So we've already broken out of the downward trend. Now we're going sideways. Now you're hoping that if you buy over the next few hours, of course, we can actually make a stronger move, probably up to the next test it'll make is probably around $8 to $9. And if you're buying around $5, you're not going to be expecting hundreds of % profit, but you can be expecting like 40 to 50% profit, which is no joke. So, that's what you're hoping for. Personally, me, I might be buying if we can find a dip below $5, but that's just me being cheap about a very volatile coin. But this seems a little bit better to be trading, if you ask me, rather than Luna C at this point in time. If you want to buy Luna C, let's go to the 4-hour chart because you can see how much farther this thing has fallen. Your time to buy it actually would have been during this higher lows. Man, this is going to be hard because let's go to the hour chart. Whenever this thing calms back down, that's when you want to buy, and maybe you can have a stop loss being the low of this candle, which was let's say about 0.0038727. That might be a good stop loss for you, because if it breaks down below that, you're most likely going to be trickling back down here. If you want to give it a little bit more of an aggressive stop loss, or less aggressive stop loss, give yourself some more room, you can go down here to this last little mini drop point of like 0.003645 level. So you have an opportunity to make some money here. Again, personally, I'd be more happy to trade Ethereum and things like that. Ethereum is looking just fine right now. Go over here to the daily chart. This is an old Fibonacci extension tool. So yeah, sell at the one, sell right there, up there, fine. Probably now, actually, if you're going to be more bullish on Ethereum. There was that short play actually from a while ago. What you might be looking for here is just a simple play right here. little bit of resistance, a little bit of resistance. If it can make its way back up to maybe $2,000, that would be probably a good opportunity to sell. A lot of you guys are more aggressive than I am, so you guys might be hoping for $2,500 if you want. I'm always a little bit more picky about that. Maybe if I switch them up a little bit, now that works a little bit more, that works a little more. Maybe you're hoping for 2,100 instead of 2,000. You're getting a little bit more money, and you don't have to worry as much. It's going to be a little bit more tricky about this one, though. I guess, can we go to the weekly chart here? There we go. Another opportunity. This one might actually be more accurate. Let me go to the magnet. There we go. Oh, no, that's not going to be as accurate. Never mind. There we go. You might be hoping for somewhere up to 1950. Oh, wow. All the way up here to 3,200. That might be a little bit of extreme right now. But I think a good one you could be aiming for is around 1,950 upward to 2,150 or so. Let me see what happens if I actually click this off here. Might move that down a little bit to 1863. First scale out level, second, third, fourth, fifth. If you really want to see it go up to $2,500. It might, but oh man, guys, it's going to be hard to see how this all pans out. One interesting thing, I was just looking at Bitcoin here as the stream started. We can actually go over to this one. Which Bitcoin chart was I looking at? Was it this one? Or was it this one? Oh, the 50 just crossed down below the 200 or the 100. Okay, we'll just use this Bitcoin chart for now. It's fine. If you guys go over to the 4-hour chart, you'll see one of the reasons we got rejected is... Oh, this is a weekly. Let me change this to chart. There we go. We're currently getting rejected off of the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. We have an opportunity to break out above it, but we might be taking a dip before we attempt to break out above this. I don't think it's actually going to be that hard for Bitcoin to break out as long as we can kind of keep this higher volume here. And the fact that today is Friday, going into the weekend, that means we're not going to have the stock market here to either boost us up or take us back down, which is going to be pretty nice. We did have that really big news coming out today that caused a little bit of a drop in the markets yesterday with Queen Elizabeth dying, and then now we have King Charles III, I believe he is, and there is going to be a little bit of uncertainty about this. Usually monarchs are the weakest when there's a transition of power happening. That's where you start seeing, like, I don't know, if you go through historical content, rivals in the family, maneuvering, whatever, Game of Thrones type stuff. Although, England's not that crazy as Game of Thrones. But you are going to see some uncertainty. You're going to see some anti-monarchy people coming out that may cause uncertainty in the British markets because they also do have a new prime minister, a new king, a new prime minister. That's a little bit chaotic. You would want one pillar of government to be kind of stable at this point in time. Again, we'll kind of see how this rolls on, but it is going to be interesting to see how the UK is, they're in a little bit more turbulent environment than I think they would like to, especially because every time I look at BBC News or their Channel 4 News, they're having what they call I think it's called like a standard of life crisis or something like that. So where like energy prices are so high, they can't afford their basic happy life stuff, the basic entertainment, and the food and stuff they would normally need to live off of, that type of stuff. So that'll be interesting going forward. Now, I guess that's enough about Bitcoin for now and some of these other altcoins. This weekend, members, get ready. I'm going to do some more technical analysis updates on some videos. I'm going to be looking to see if I see any breakouts happening or if these are just going to be general updates on some of the stocks that we like to trade. I looked at some of the stocks today and I thought there would be some really fun day trading opportunities in there, like Apple, but not so much in the long-term shorts or puts or calls like we had last time. I don't even know if I still have those on my computer because I deleted a whole bunch of stuff. Let me see. Yeah, there we go. So you guys know we had those puts from the last few days. I know the majority of you guys, I'm all out of all of my put positions. Netflix was the worst performer of all the puts that I told you guys about. Tesla was okay. My Tesla screwed up on my paper trading account here simply because of the stock split that they went through. So it just kind of wonked out. I think I made like 100 or something % on my Tesla calls. It wasn't as much as I wanted to, but my puts, but it worked. And Nvidia was the big winner here at 1,000% profit winners. I told you guys I took profits at 1,000%. I was very happy with those. As far as Apple, it was fine. It was like one option was 205% profit. The other was 283% profit. That was fine. I was really happy with those. And I think proportionally, I think I did the right call. Apple, I did 40 calls. Nvidia, I only did 10, and Netflix, I did 5. In hindsight, probably should have done more on Nvidia, but I did not see the bad news coming out about Nvidia ahead of time. So, I was just doing my normal technical analysis there. But overall, you can see it definitely made more money, right? But yeah, so I will be doing some more videos for members. I think what are the Sapphire and Diamond members. So for you guys will have those videos coming out pretty soon. Let's say Sunday, because I have to finish up a video tomorrow and do some editing tonight as well. But okay, everybody, if you guys have any questions on any stocks, crypto, any big news coming out this week, please let me know. Jerome Powell, questions about that, shoot, because I'll be happy to talk about it. And then excuse me, guys, I'm still getting over the COVID. One little thing that I think is becoming a little bit more fun here. You guys know I posted that video a couple days ago, and it's been getting some views, and I've been pretty happy about that. But I'm starting to see more news organizations pick this up. I mean, we've frankly been talking about this for like over a month at this point, but and I just decided to make a video since I'm just now getting used to editing properly for YouTube. So like, transitions and cutscenes and B-roll footage and all that stuff. You're starting to see a lot more traffic online talking about this big old railroad strike that's most likely going to happen over the next few days. The next week on the 16th. Now, before this, I only really saw articles on these really like smaller known websites like Labor Notes, AG Web, like agriculture websites. Like, I don't know how many people like out there in America look at agriculture websites, but like the Farm Journal, they do have some good information here. But it's just usually they're not really promoted as much by Google because they're usually like really far down. But now that they're starting to get some traffic, people are looking to learn more about it. And frankly, after reading CNN articles, CNBC articles, what was the other one? The Hill articles, they pretty much copy everything that these smaller I don't say mon pa, but like these smaller websites like Agriculture Web and Labor Notes, they kind of copy everything they say and just rejumble it into another story. So they're not really like, I don't think they're really doing any journalism. I think they're just taking from these early articles that came up a while ago here. But there still hasn't been any major breakthroughs here. So, this is going to gain more and more traffic. I think as the market starts to absorb it next week, that may cause a little bit more uncertainty and cause a little bit more bearishness coming in here for the market. We'll see how it all pans out. There might be an opportunity for them to make a deal, but they've been trying to make a deal for 3 freaking years, and they just ran a poll like a couple weeks ago. 96% of the railroad workers want to go on strike. It's going to be hard for the union bosses to make a deal with the government or the railroads industry if 96% of all their members say, hey, we don't like this deal, we want to strike. Whatever you guys are thinking there, it's excuse me, it's kind of left us in a weird spot. And if you guys know anything about government in America, we're headed into an election season. Biden does not want another supply chain crisis. So he's going to most likely side with the railroad industry, which is going to cause some chaos here as everybody tries to maneuver. Republicans will use this opportunity to side with the working class because the working class has been going more Republican in America. Democrats will try to like seize on this and say, hey, we're going to help them. But at the end of the day, they're going to Democrats are most likely going to side with the establishment here. You might see Bernie and Elizabeth Warren going out there for the working class, but it's going to be a very weird show going on here. As far as politics as a show, it's going to be very, very weird. I'm going to be talking about it for a while because elections really force people to do the most they can for their constituents, even when they might otherwise not like to. So because of lobbying. So this is going to be very, very interesting. And I want to see how this affects everybody because, what's happening. Let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. Okay. So we got Bitcoin heading back up slowly. We got the dollar index on the weekly chart following its normal pattern of skyrocket down, skyrocket down, skyrocket down, we have that normal transition happening now, and this sometimes lasts for a few weeks. This lasted for 3 weeks. This lasted for a month. This time, how long will it last? We don't know. We don't even know if this is a 1 week pause like this, and we're just kind of going back up. We don't know that for sure yet. However, right now we can, safely, I don't know, you might assume that we might be coming back down, right? Now, with all that good news coming, you could definitely see Bitcoin start to soar back up and head back into that 20-week moving average, right? And that may happen over the next 1-2 weeks, right? So if we go over here to the day chart, get rid of all that. And let me add some lines for you guys. September 16th, okay. September 16th is currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days away, a week away. That gives us time to have a little bit more of a boost. But if we go on strike on the 16th or over the next few days, if they they push it back a few days, you never know how these things work out. It doesn't have to be the 16th exactly. But if it ends up going if we end up having a strike anywhere around that time, any momentum that we're able to build up during that time, we're going to come crashing down and quite fast, which is going to be really, it's just going to be an annoyance for everybody. The market's not going to like it because nobody's pricing this in right now. Right now, everybody is trying to price in Jerome Powell, what he's talking about, earnings reports and stuff like that. But as more and more news organizations start talking about this railroad strike, the realization that, hey, $2 billion a day of goods are going to be lost, or $2 billion a day is going to be lost because of this, is going to really hit, a lot of these different organizations and industries. CNBC, I think, might have had an article about it. Before we go on here, so I can answer you guys' questions. Here. Deadline to avoid a national rail strike, which could cost the economy $2 billion a day, is near. So, excuse me, guys. Geez, this COVID stuff lasts longer than I would like it to. On the heels of the latest round of labor negotiations between the National Mediation Board, unions, and freight railroads, the Association of American Railroads has released a report projecting that the economic impact of a nationwide railroad strike could be more than $2 billion a day. And strikes usually don't just happen for like a day or two. They usually happen for like a week, 2 weeks until the pain is really felt. So far, 5 of the 12 unions representing 21,000 employees have reached voluntary agreements with the railroads, okay? Now, 21,000 have reached a deal, 115,000 have not. That's a lot more that have not. Excuse me, guys. If a strike happens, the report from the AAR's policy and economics team, which uses historical data from the Federal Railroad Administration, states that 140,000-mile network of rails across 49 states and 7,000 Class 1 trains would be idled. That means they're just not doing anything. Think of an idled car. And the impact would cripple both the movement of trade and commuters. There are not enough trucks or truck drivers to move the rail-bound carriers, according to the report, with an additional 467,000 long-haul trucks per day needed to handle the freight. An extra 467,000 long-haul trucks per day. That's a lot, guys. That's a lot. And that's a lot of gas and fuel. And there's not enough truckers to do that anyway, so don't worry about the fuel going up. Maybe a little bit because trains transfer a lot of crude. So, we're going to be in a weird spot here, guys, going forward. Sorry about the cough, guys. I'm not used to this. I was fine a couple days ago. Now I'm just coughing all over the place. Okie dokie, buddy. If you guys have a stock, crypto, anything you guys want to talk about, let me know. I think I talked about all the stories I had. Railroads, the stock market, Bitcoin, the video and how the channel is doing. Thank you guys for watching this content. I really do appreciate it. A house I'm looking at in Nicaragua here for when I move. It's pretty cool. It's like by a statue. But yeah, so let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me move over some stuff on my end here. Let's see. And hey, Mr. Joker, lunacy is nothing but a lotto ticket. I mean, yeah, that's the way. I don't describe it that way. I describe it as going to the casino and having some fun. So you give yourself a set amount of money to have fun. But the way I always talk about going into these meme stocks and meme coins is whatever your casino budget is for the week, take that, put that into whatever crypto plays you want to have and have fun with it. But don't spend any more money than that. If you win a lot of money technically out of it, you make some profits, you can use those profits to have more fun on other coins. But, usually you're just going to, whatever profit you make, you kind of keep it. Then you kind of play with whatever money you have left over. So no matter what, you've at least walked away with some money here and you're walking away a winner in a coin that most people are going to walk out as losers. And then Miss Pepper, happy Friday. I'm looking for OP to take off. There's been a lot of coins taking off over the past few days here. I mean, you guys know I've been having a lot of fun with UFO coin over the past few weeks and months. This is actually in the video I'm making for you guys tomorrow here. Oh, that's why I'm so coughing so much. I spent the whole day talking and making videos. But this had a pretty nice accumulation zone along with a lot of other coins when we had that pivot point a few months ago. So you could accumulate over here. And this one actually, managed, like, just from the middle zone over here, it managed to turn up around like 500%. I sold like all of my UFO coin actually when that happened. Not all of it, like 50% of it. I then bought like 25% of it here, another 25% of it here. And I've just been kind of waiting to see what happens. Overall, it has had a good little pop over the last few days. I guess since we had this bottom, it's gone up about 44%. Now it's only up around 32%. So I have been watching a lot of these coins quite a bit. Let's see, go to the weekly chart here. No weeklies? I guess this coin is just too new on KuCoin here. But I'm hoping that over the next few days, going into probably into this weekend or maybe even next week, we have an opportunity to see UFO coin have a little bit more of a pop up here and then try to consolidate to do something larger, or of course break down and have a nasty play here. But I am pretty excited to see how far UFO coin will go. As far as OP is concerned, I think there's a lot of opportunity there as well. Let me go back over here to Bitcoin very fast. Second chart, there we go. Oh, that's not the one I want. This one to be the 15-minute chart. And there we go. We got that GAN fan still causing us a little bit of trouble. If we can pop above that GAN fan, it might be worth our time. But you guys have to remember there's also that 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart for Bitcoin there as well. There we go. Okay. See, hey, Corinda, do I think Tonic token is a good swing play? I mean, I would say for most coins out there right now, yeah, there's a good opportunity to be swinging them. I told you guys if you guys wanted to buy, it would be like 2 days ago when we were kind of at that double bottom area where there was an opportunity for us to hold that support. But I still think even now, there's an opportunity to buy some coins. If you want to swing it, I think you're going to be looking to swing it for at max like 2 weeks, at max 2 weeks. And then you're probably going to give yourself a pretty lenient stop loss there of about like 10 to 15%, to be honest. And depending on how you're trading it, I know you said you're also long term there. You just want to keep that long term, those long term coins separate from your swing trades, and that'll kind of keep everything a little bit more organized. But yeah, as long terming, I think it'll be fine. It looks like it has potential. I popped a few $100 into myself. I'm just going to see what happens to it, but I'm not dollar cost averaging it. I just bought some of it. I might buy some more and I'll see what happens with it, but it's not something I'm dollar cost averaging right now. And what's right here? Oh, sorry guys, I totally forgot my comment section just moved all the way down, so I skipped some stuff. And hey, Brandon, hi, Mike, thinking of 40K by the end of the year. I mean, if the market can hold on, like more specifically the NASDAQ, if it can really hold on here and we don't see Europe go into a full recession, we don't see the UK go into like even a worse energy crisis as like both of them are having right now, we might have an opportunity for the NASDAQ to really bounce off of this 200 weekly moving average and try to make a rebound. I mean, maybe back up to $15,000 or so. You might have an opportunity to see Bitcoin up there, but I'm thinking of Bitcoin maybe on the high side, maybe around 30,000 if we really get into a good groove of things by the end of the year. It doesn't mean we can't go to 40,000 before the end of the year, but I do think we're going to have a drop before then, because I do think as the UK goes into a recession, as the European Union goes into a recession, that's going to have a really bad effect on the American markets, because Europeans have a lot of money in crypto. Europeans have a lot of money in stocks and finance, and the markets. As they start pulling money out because they know everything's going to be going down, that'll hurt the Nasdaq, that'll hurt the SPY, and it's going to be a pretty rough one until we figure out how bad this is going to affect Europe. So maybe if I go over here very fast, let me just take this off very quickly. Now, is there a good article here? And let's go to The Economist. Well, I don't know. They might try to get me to. Okay, cool. Go to the. They're going to charge me to go to the story. Oh my gosh. All right. Let's just go to routers, I guess. Excuse me. Let's not play that video. I don't want to get in trouble. All right. So the Eurozone is almost certainly entering a recession, with surveys on Monday showing a deepening cost of living crisis and a gloomy outlook that is keeping consumers wary of spending. While there was some easing of price pressures according to the surveys, they remained high, and the European Central Bank is under pressure as inflation is running at more than 4 times its 2% target, reaching a record 9.1% last month. Ours was going down. Apparently theirs is not doing as hot, okay? And it faces the prospect of raising interest rates aggressively just as the economy enters a downturn. That's what we're trying not to have happen here. In America, we're raising interest rates, but the economy, it's going down, but we're not. You guys know when you ride a roller coaster and we hit that crest and you're like, woo, but we're not the woo part where we're like really having fun. We're at that part in the American economy. So that's a good spot. The Europeans are like on the woo, they're going down, but it's not the part where their stomach starts to feel funny as it becomes weightless. Hopefully that's kind of like vivid enough imagery for you guys. But yeah. So, it's going to get very, very bad here. My whole reasoning for thinking that Bitcoin will eventually go down to 14,000, maybe even less, is because I don't see the global economy really picking itself back up for some time here. In fact, I think everything's going to get a lot worse. I'm hoping that we can find a bottom and the Nasdaq won't break down below the 200 weekly moving average. But, if we can have some really good Q3 earnings, we don't have a railroad strike that really tosses everything into confusion, I would say we have an opportunity to go to 40,000, but I would say the opportunity is around like 15 to 20%. See, and hey, Babyfish, I'm sorry you got COVID, my man. I just had it last week and 2 weeks ago now. It sucks, but drink as much water as you can, rest, and stay away from all of your family. That was the hard part for me because I helped my mom out and my sister. I just couldn't do anything at all. But I hope you feel better, my man. I hope you feel better soon. Let's see. And hey, Blair, Alan's from Louisiana, Michael. Ooh, see, I have to look at all this stuff right here. What's right here? And hey, JT, I know somebody probably answered this, but what does it mean when there is no chart info on an over-the-counter stock, but previously there was? AATC is what I'm asking about. AATV. Oh, this is a really sketchy one. If it's loss, what do you mean? I mean, I can see it on TradingView all the way back to 2005 here. Sometimes what happens is if a stock was in compliance with a major index like the NASDAQ compliance, the New York Stock Exchange compliance, usually compliance is just staying above $1. That's all they have to do, just stay above $1. If it's in compliance, they're fine. But if they lose compliance and they're forced off the exchange, sometimes they'll cut off everything before that and it opens up a new over-the-counter chart. So that's what happens sometimes. There usually are different ways to find the whole chart in the future if it ever gets lost, but sometimes it really depends on which exchange you're using. So TradingView might have it, but TD Ameritrade might not. TD Ameritrade might not have it, but E-Trade might. E-Trade may have it, but Fidelity might not. So that's usually what's happening. But over the counter is kind of a murky world of stocks, right? It's the closest thing the stock market has to crypto coins. So you got to be very careful with them. But yeah, you can find, it looks like you found this one, or we found this one pretty easily, but it looks like it might just be on TradingView. It might not be on TD Ameritrade. Excuse me, guys. Oof. See right here. And then, Mr. Joker, everything is dropping this week, and KuCoin's interest free hasn't been wrong in over a year, not once. Well, there you go, guys. That's another reason. And we did hit that big level of resistance after this big pop, so that could definitely be a big sign right there. Let's see. See. And hey, Brandon, everyone thinks we're going lower, just like everyone's saying 100K, nobody really knows. Yeah, guys, we're all pretty much just guessing here off of the technicals. So I guess some of us are just making more educated guesses than other. But I definitely agree with Brandon. Nobody knows exactly where the bottom is going to be or exactly where the high is going to be. All we're looking for is those patterns that kind of tell us historically what's going on, what's working, what's not. For Bitcoin, that historic pattern to where might want to start selling is usually that death cross between the 20 and the 50-week moving averages. If I can just pull it up here, probably go back a little bit further in time, longer chart. All right, now what's that orange line doing up there? What is this? Are these all? Get the email there. There we go. So historically for Bitcoin. Oh, there's a daily chart. I was on the 4. Okay. So right here, death cross with the 50 and the 200, or the 20 and the 50. Usually after we reach all-time highs, that's usually a good opportunity to get out. Over here in this circumstance is a little bit different because it kind of popped off for a second time, which was kind of unprecedented. But for this one, it was followed. We had a golden cross before that, which kind of negated that, which was pretty interesting, which is again why we had that big bust out of nowhere. Over here though, all-time highs, what happened right afterwards, death cross, usually a good opportunity to sell around this area. Now COVID was a little bit different because we didn't have all-time highs or anything like that. We barely even have a rally, but we had a death cross left, nice little boom, and boom, you know, kind of came back down. I really wouldn't use this one though, just because it was COVID. COVID was just like its own thing at the time, and everybody was freaking out. I remember when they closed down everything that March. I went to a bar the night they closed everything down, and like half the bartenders were crying because they lost their jobs. And I think it was like literally the weekend before St. Patrick's Day, and the government shut everything down. So they were like, that's like, you know, St. Patrick's Day is like their biggest day of the year. So they were pretty mad about that. Over here, death cross right there. Guess what? Still a good opportunity to sell. You sell right here, even if it's down low, you wait a little bit of time, and guess what? There's a better buying opportunity down the road. Over here, when we got really high up, death cross 20 to 50, new all-time high. You know, so there's tons of opportunities here, even going back way over here to 2013 when most of us weren't trading. I wasn't trading crypto at this time. You know, death cross came back up, of course, but then, you know, whoosh, came back down, and it just kind of kept on coming back down after that. So all we're looking for is patterns and how to figure out like, hey, when we see this pattern, normally this follows it, and so forth, right? But that's why I usually laugh at the people on Twitter who make all those weird predictions, but because just normally they're wrong. Hey, Joker, when Pelosi sold NVIDIA, you know it's going down. Oh, yeah. Remember, she sold it. Then they announced that the fact that NVIDIA won't be allowed to sell any more chips to China coming up pretty soon. They're not going to be able to renew their partnership. And hey, Monica, what do you see BGB topping out of this run? Do you see it breaking all-time highs? Golden cross is coming up in 3 to 4 days. Thank you. As far as BGB is concerned, I mean, I've been looking at it. I've still been buying up some, but here, let me go over here. Let's go to the daily. I was kind of hoping it might top off, or not hoping, but I think it might top off somewhere right around here on 19 cents over the next few days. I've already started to scale out of some of my BGB that I was able to accumulate down here. I had like a 13 and a half limit order there, and it kind of triggered on this crash we had August 15th. I'm still holding it, but you know, I've actually started to scale out here. Part of the reason is doopity boo. Now this one's a little bit different because, you know, it's a lower market cap coin, of course. We're going to that bottom, right? So we've kind of reached that level. I'm scaling out right here. If we make it back up here, awesome. But I started to scale out here and I'll see what happens down the road. But you know, the majority of the BGB that I hold is kind of just for the long term. This thing, I mean, we can't see how far it's been going back for a while, but you know, you've been with me on this trade for such a long time that we bought it way back over here at 6 cents. It popped all the way up here at 21 cents. It'll definitely make a run up to about $1, at least $1 over the next couple of years here. Probably, I'm hoping into the $4 to $5 range here. But it's gonna, at least on this run, I'm hoping around that 19-cent range if we're lucky. But I've already started to scale out here just because I want to be able to walk away with a profit on the short-term trade I did over here, not the longer-term trades, which I'll be holding for obviously years to come. There we go. All right. Pop that up there. Okay. And hey, Bideford, the UK's new prime minister announced a program to help people pay their energy bills yesterday. She plans on doing whatever she can to help the country for this winter. I mean, that's probably a wise thing to do on her part. Not just because, you know, it's helping out your citizens, but if your citizens are able to save money on energy bills by, you know, getting some government money, that means they're going to have more money to buy groceries, some of the extra stuff they want to buy, which will keep people in work a little bit longer as this kind of really bad energy crisis deepens. We're going to have to wait to see what happens in Europe come this winter. Hopefully they have a very mild winter. That'll kind of help alleviate a lot of these pains. But if it's a grueling winter due to climate change or anything like that, you're going to see Europe like really struggling to get by, national emergency type stuff where they're going to have, I mean, I honestly don't know what they're going to do at that point. If they get really if it gets really out of hand, they have no control over it because of like their own energy policies. It's going to be a disaster for Europe. You know, hopefully America can help them out a little bit, but that's going to raise our energy prices too, and it's going to be, you know, tit for tat politics going back and forth. Let me go back over here very fast. Excuse me. Oh, move that right over here. And hey, Far From Broke, thank you very, very much for the super chat, man. I really do appreciate it. Hey, Michael, thoughts on the hood? I have accumulated a couple thousand shares since it hit around $7. I want someone else's input in it. Yeah, so as far as hood, you know that I love hood as a long-term play. I've been accumulating it for a while as well. And my hope for hood during this next recession, whatever bad market downturn we have happening, I will continue to buy hood even if we have already found a market bottom. I am going to continue buying hood over time. This is a weekly chart for hood, but I guess it's best if I just go over here to Finviz very fast. So, you know, Robinhood has a market cap of 9.51 billion. I would really like to see another company swoop in and actually buy out Robinhood. Robinhood has a CEO who is Vlad Tenev or whatever his name is. He's not particularly a good CEO, if you ask me. He was very good at the startup phase and kind of bringing it onto the world stage, being that ambassador out there. But when he lied to everybody in the world about what happened with the GameStop fiasco and he got caught lying about it, he lost a lot of trust. And, you know, ever since then, the kind of like popularity of Robinhood has been going down slowly. It still has a lot of users, don't get me wrong, but the popularity has been going down. And now that we're going into a bear market, a lot of the revenue is going to be going down because less trading activity means less option flow, less flow that they can sell to their hedge fund overlords, so to speak. You go down here a little bit, you've definitely been seeing a lot of sales going on from their executive team. I don't know what you want to call them, but I guess the legal officer, he sold at $10, $274,000, not too much there. Vlad sold off $1 million worth of shares at $9 or so. you've been seeing a lot of sales. Notice nobody's buying. I guess that's the big thing. Nobody seems to want to be buying this in their own company. So they understand that something is not too good right now. And if you've ever looked at their 10K, I'm sure you have by now. You know that their revenue has been going down consistently ever since the GameStop stuff and the high volume stuff that we saw during COVID. It's just been going down ever since. Now, but as far as Robinhood is concerned, from a technical standpoint, I'm actually still pretty happy with it. I've been able to accumulate it over here. I mean, I started buying it around $11. So like way over here, over here, over here, even over here on $7, $6. It's still fine for me. I'm still happy to continue holding it for the long term. But this is more of a longer term play for me, not like a weekly or even a monthly play. I want to be holding this for 6 months to 6 years type of thing. But my main goal here is like, sure, I'll make money as it comes back up because I know Robinhood will come back strong and I'll make lots of money. Personally, I really do want to see them get bought out by another corporation. And just to kind of have some perspective in here, this is only $9.5 billion. I mean, if you go over here to Twitter is at $32 billion. That's how big the devaluation is between some of these companies. Other companies that kind of are at this scale here are, I mean, let's go to, can I find one? 2 billion to 10 billion, I guess you would say. Market cap up at the high end here. I was thinking actually you guys would know. No, there's really nothing over here that's really like Robinhood, of course, but Zillow, same valuation as Zillow. That should be good enough for you guys to understand. So you got Zillow over here, nothing else as far as Dick's Sporting Goods. That's kind of the market cap, what we're looking at here. So I still think Robinhood has a very, very small market cap. I think it can get much larger. Heck, remember guys, people wanted to trade this at $40 when it first opened up. Now it's of course not at $40. But yeah, it's a good long-term hold if you ask me. I just want to see it bought out though, and not necessarily, just play it out for forever. I'm hoping they're going to get bought out during this whole recession thing going on here. And hey, Skull Guy, thank you so much for subscribing and for joining the Ruby Love membership. I really do appreciate that, my man. And let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. And hey, Alan, I'm happy to see you back as well. Oh, let me make sure I scroll back up here. It's right here. See. And hey, Miss Joker, that railroad truck is going to hurt. I haven't seen anyone talking about it except right here on this channel. I mean, there is more people talking about it now, but again, like my job is to make money trading in the markets. So I usually want to like hear these rumors kind of bubbling up before the news agencies start talking about them, which is why I warned you guys about this all the way back in July. Because, I mean, stuff was happening, just nobody wanted to report on it except for a few select little like small media organizations, right? So I took the time to really do those ones, and that's why I was able to finally make a video with you guys about them. I should have made the video a lot earlier. It might have gotten even more views, but I'm happy with the views it's been getting so far. I've been actually really happy with it. No, my videos don't get too many because I don't really know how to edit. Now that I know how to edit it a little bit better, I can definitely see that the YouTube audience is enjoying the content even more. Now, but yeah, that railroad truck is going to hurt immensely because everybody is already, at this point in time, the hedge funds know that something bad may be happening, but they're trying to figure out which industries are going to be affected more than others. So, the oil industry will be negatively affected. Companies like Boeing, greatly affected. I don't think many people know that playing on a train. Let's see if I can do this right here. Yeah, here you go. Let's just take this for example. Plane fuselages are transferred by rail. So if Boeing isn't able to build planes for like a few weeks or a couple days, that's going to be very, very bad. And if any of you guys have ever been in Boeing or gone through a tour of Boeing or have any family that's worked at Boeing, I know people that have been in the logistics department, which kind of like, this plane part is coming from Asia, this plane part is coming from Kentucky, this plane part is coming from South Carolina, Mexico. We have to all bring that stuff to Washington State, build it, then fly the plane off to wherever it's, its intended place of, it's intended, wherever the purchaser is. Well, they have these mega rooms where they're controlling all of these logistics, tracking every single thing to make sure everything gets on time. And if that gets screwed up, everything gets screwed up. There's no planes. That means Boeing's going to have to lay people off temporarily until the planes get fixed up. It'll just be bad for economies everywhere because, office employees, they can still kind of find something to do, and they're salaried employees, so they're not going to be laid off because once the strike is over, everybody needs to come back to work. But a corporation like Boeing, they can easily just be like, hey, we're going to lay you off for 2 weeks because we have no work for you. So sorry. We'll see you back in 2 weeks. Have a great Thanksgiving. Right. So, we're going to have to see how this pans out, of course, like I keep on saying, but there is an opportunity for a lot of pain there because a lot of the people that would be affected by this are non-salaried workers, and non-salaried workers usually are the easiest to kind of lay off temporarily because, they don't have the option to just kind of go find another job real fast, especially when they've been used to doing the same job for since this whole bull market started from like 2009, 2010. Oh, what's right here? Oh, and hey, Chef, can I look at Lowe's? Yeah, let me take a look at Lowe's very fast. Okay, Loki's just giving me the saddest eyes because I think my sister just got home and he's just looking at me like, can we just please go upstairs? And I'm like, no. There you go. Here, I'll give Loki a treat very fast. Loki, where you at? Come over to this other side. And then we'll take a look at here at Lowe's. Lowe's. Come on. Here. There you go. Say hi to everybody. Oh, geez, you really want a treat. Yeah, okay, you get one more. Yep. Happy? You're welcome. All right. He comes back for another one now. All right, let's go over here to Lowe's. There you go. And thanks, Christine. Oh, sorry, I'm not used to moving my head around there. Thanks, Christine, for becoming a member. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. I'd be happy to answer them for you. All right, so let's take a look here at Lowe's. This is one of those things where this is like a classic Fibonacci extension level for me personally. There's a couple ones I'd actually recommend you use here. I haven't traded Lowe's in a hot minute though, so let me see. There you go. We got some upward momentum there. Okay. Okay, probably actually first, let's just use the first one, then we can go for the longer term one here in a second. All right. So what's currently going on right now, as you can see, this is actually been pretty well for us. Resistance, 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 working out pretty well. This is a daily chart for us. Personally, if you are going to get into Lowe's, I would probably say you're going to be looking to sell around $212 if we can have a good week going into next week. As I look at the market right now, I do think we're going to have a reversal coming up pretty soon before Jerome Powell talks. So we might see the market have an extra 1 or 2 days of going up and then start coming back down. And this dip will be crucial because we're not entirely sure if we're going to be coming all the way back down here or if we're just going to be making some type of higher low and just trying to keep on stacking up to kind of make maybe a double bottom or some type of flag, basically, like that, kind of continue on. That's what I would say for that particular point right there. Let me go right here very fast. Remove drawings. Now, actually, that'd probably be the best Fibonacci extension level for you right now. So I'm actually, let me leave that on there for a second. There you go. So I'd say a couple of those resistance levels you got to be aware of right now are going to be $206 and then $212.94. So almost $213. Personally, me, because we've already kind of had this massive move from Lowe's over the past few days where it's gone from like $190, like a little bit less than like $188 or so. I mean, to double check. Excuse me, $190. Let's call it $191. It's gone from $191 all the way up to $205. I might be more interested in opening up some type of short on this position or a put on this position going into next week once I start to see some weakness form. Because, my worry is if I were to do a put too early, you can see right here that we've just broken out of this little bit of a downtrend here. I think we have an opportunity to actually make a move a little bit higher, and then that's where we might have some more of that bad news here. Normally I might even try to take a short-term put right here, but the fact that we've had a breakout, that just gives me a pause to say, hey, let me wait a few more days, let me see what I can find. I'd be very happy to take a short, or excuse me, not a short, but a put position around $213. But until that happens, you know, I might buy a put 3 weeks out. I'd probably buy it pretty close to be like almost in the money. Like, you know, I'd be paying a little bit more than I normally would be because I want to be in this for a short amount of time. And then from there, I'm actually, no, let's say 2 week, shorter, this would be a shorter play, like a 2 week expiration, maybe even a 1 week expiration, depending on how you want to play this out. But you want to make it pretty close in the money. You're probably going to be paying anywhere from 50 cents to $1.50 per each contract. So that'd be like, you know, $50 to $150, depending on how you want to play that out. But I would be happier to buy those. Oh, come on. I'd be happy to buy those puts up here and not right here just yet. Now, as we come back down, you're going to have a better opportunity, I think, to scale out. But the way I'm looking at this currently, since we're already breaking out above the 20-day moving average here, you know, I would be happy to see us come back down below it over the next few, let's call it next week or two. And then once that happens, that can start more of this trend reversal as we look for a death cross when the 20-day moving average actually crosses down below the 50. Last time that happened, woo, you know, I had some good times ahead of us. Okay. So, I think it's good. I would be most likely be looking to buy puts. If you want to do some day trading calls, I think day trading would be actually pretty fun for lows. I haven't day traded lows, I don't think, since actually you know, way over here. But if we just go over here to the 15-minute chart, I think you guys can see these lines on the screen. I don't know if there's a way for me to make them a little bit darker or lighter. I don't think on this one. No, there's not. Oh, here we go. Let's make them a little bit darker here. There you go. Yeah, it's a little bit okay. You can see that a lot of the time, all you're looking for is a nice solid breakout. You buy the breakout and you're usually pretty golden as far as lows is concerned. You have these nice little trends right here. We've broken down below it pre-market or post-market. Let's see what happens next week. But if we manage to actually open back above this, that'd be pretty good. Like once the actual trading day is open, you might be able to do a call and wait to see how this pans out. On the other hand here, oh geez, that is a lot of stuff going on. Maybe that's probably not the best thing to do here. 2 hour chart, 1 hour chart, that may do a trick. Let me see. Yeah, that's what I'd be going right now. I mean, there's that breakout that we just talked about a little bit ago. If you're doing the day trade here, guess what? We didn't break out there. We didn't break. So the actual breakout happened right there, and I guess that's where we actually saw the acceleration in the price movement. So you would have had to trade the breakout right there. Notice it's a 1 hour chart. I'm looking at not the 15-minute chart. The 15-minute chart. Actually, no, we didn't break out on the 15-minute chart either. If you do right here, that actually would have been fine. So, you know, you could have traded the breakout, made some really good money. If you want to day trade this or do like a buy one day, sell the next day, perfectly fine. You could almost consider that a day trade because you're going to be holding it for less than 24 hours, basically. But, you know, it's not crypto, so we can't just trade it any way we want to. But I think Lowe's is a good play. Watch out, though, for it. I'd be more happy to buy some puts on this person, like I told you a few minutes ago. Okay, let's go back over here. Let's go actually this one. There we go. Okay. And hey, Mr. Joker, I'm moving to Nicaragua. Yes, I'm hoping to move to Nicaragua either next year or the year after next, depending on how good my mom is, because she's still taking physical therapy after her stroke. So, but yeah, I'm either going to be moving next year if I can, or I might move early 2024. So I'm in no real rush to get down there, but I am going to be enjoying it once I am. So I've been looking at a lot of houses down there. This is one of them. Now, all the houses that I've pretty much been looking at, they've all been sold recently. Well, not all of them, but some of them have been. But, you know, this is like a $675,000 house. Pretty nice. This will just be for me and my dogs. I'm going to get more dogs here eventually. But, you know, I mean, like, all I want is a nice house with a view of the water. There you go. So you can see the water right there. So, you know, it's beautiful. And it has, like, you know, Wi-Fi, internet, stuff like that. I don't know how I feel about a pool, not a pool, but a bathtub by my bed. But you know, who knows how this crazy world works anyway. But but yeah, I'm planning on moving to Nicaragua. I'm having trouble finding a way to get Loki down there. That's my biggest concern right now. But I'm thinking I can actually take a cruise from LA down to Nicaragua and then just take my dog off of the cruise boat and get him checked in through customs down there, which wouldn't be too big of a problem. But yeah, right now my problem is just getting Loki down there. I'm hoping like COVID kind of messed up the whole supply chain of moving dogs around Central America. So I'm hoping that by waiting a little bit longer, that supply chain or that supply route is going to be opened up a little bit more frequently, so I don't have to really worry about flights. Because right now, if I wanted to transport Loki down to Nicaragua, you're going to have to. I would have to fly from Seattle to Philadelphia to Miami to Nicaragua. I don't really want to put Loki through that, so I'm trying to find a way to do a cruise ship. And I mean, I've been on plenty of cruises. I'd be happy just to chill in the bottom section with Loki, the entire cruise ship with a laptop and some Wi-Fi. Besides just like hanging out on the pool deck all day or something like that, right? So that's my trouble right now, is getting Loki down there, and I don't want to pay for a private jet because those things are expensive when you get international. And then Mr. Pepper, you need some hard candy helps. That's why I probably need to I probably do need some candy. I do have some cough drops. I just don't know what I did with them. I bought like 1,000 of them when I got sick with COVID. What's it here? And hey, Michael, I'm feeling better. Thanks for watching the stream, my man. And can you take a look at Near? Is Near a stock or a crypto? What is Near? Near. Now, I'm sure you're probably not talking about BlackRock short maturity bond ETF, which I actually think is a pretty good thing if you guys ever wanted to buy it. It's more of a long-term thing, of course. Let's see. Why is this one? This might not be this might not be what I'm thinking about here. No, this is not what I'm thinking about. I must be thinking about something Vanguard related. This thing, it doesn't have enough volume for what I'm looking for here. But you're probably talking about the crypto. Finance. Okay, there we go. I mean, already looking at the weekly chart, you're going to be facing some resistance pretty soon, but you already have the opportunity to have a nice little pop here if you're lucky. Now let's kind of go off of to the daily charts here. Just had a death cross. It came down a little bit, managed to break back out above that. Looking more like you could have another golden cross here. Is there a 200 moving average? I'm just not looking at my chart. There we go. Okay. The 200 is way above you. So I would say right now, if this manages to have a pop above that 20-week moving average, you're going to be looking at the 200 daily moving average, see that solid level of resistance here. Now, let's see how this actually handled over the last few weeks. Resistance at 1, awesome. Broke above the pink, about the 1.61 level. Okay, resistance there. Okay. So back up a little bit here. That's probably not going to be the one we want to use. Let's check out this one very fast. How'd this one work out? Resistance, no. Which one am I using here? That's why, okay. Let me go back a second here very fast, and let me just double check this with different settings. Aha, there we go. Okay, so we've already broken back above the 1. That was a pretty nice Fibonacci extension level, like exactly. You gotta love when the math works out, right? Now, so as I go out for this one right now, I still think you got to be careful of a double top here. This almost feels like an inverse head and shoulders here, which you broke above that neckline there, and so far we're looking at a breakout here. Let me see what I can figure out right here. Now we got to start over again right there. Okay, so you're already at that 1 price target level. So if you manage to buy anywhere down here, this is most likely where you're going to want to start scaling out. You're going to hope that over the next, let's say 24 to 36 hours, you're going to hope that Bitcoin can manage to actually break above that 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. Why isn't it showing up here? Oh, it's on the weekly chart. There you go. You're going to be hoping that we can break out above this level if we can, because I don't think we're necessarily just going to go like this, like crazy. We might be looking more at like, let's consolidate for a couple days, then boom, that type of move. If that happens, I think near will actually have a strong opportunity to make its way back up to at least $5.20 and then try to make its way back up to $5.60. Once we get up there, this is most likely where I'd be out of like 90% of all of my positions or my position on this particular coin, and where I might start opening up some shorts on the way back down. Shorts are more questionable, iffy, because it really depends on what Bitcoin's looking at right there. But you've already hit that first level of resistance here. Give it some time to cool off, and maybe it might come back down to maybe 465 to 470 range, and then from there wait for it to see if we can get an extra boom, and that gives it a little bit more time for the 20-day moving average here to creep back up above the 50, giving us another golden cross and another reason to kind of have that bullish momentum and have people actually want to be buying back into this. But I think it's fine. It's been following those Fibonacci levels exactly. And when you have a coin that's following Fibonacci levels exactly, you tend to have a lot more day traders in it following those exact levels of support and resistance. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good play. You're just hoping that Bitcoin can eventually break out above that 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart, and that near in particular can actually break out above that 20-week moving average, and that'll give you that big point up here to the 550 or so. And if it can close above that, if it can actually close above that, what are you doing? What was that? That bull? If it can actually close above that, that actually gives you a little bit more green room to really rise up a little bit higher. Careful though, once it comes into contact, it might have a wick above that 20-week moving average, but it might not close above it, leading to a full-on rejection. That's why, I'd personally be at like 90% once you hit that major Fibonacci extension level there. Okay, let's go back over here. Let's go to the 1 second. There we go. Oh, all this is on weekly charts, probably because I had a reason for it at the beginning. Let's see. There we go. And let's go to auto. There we go. Okay. Oh, Near has a 3-day convention starting on Sunday, and they added it to Coinbase Learn, FYI. That does give it an incentive to have a nice breakout going forward here, especially if they can break above that 20-week moving average here. But they don't even have to do that to get a little bit of a move back up to the 550s range, a little bit higher than that. So I think it's a promising move. Watch those Fibonacci extensions. Whenever a coin is like hitting those Fibonacci extensions like very, very well, that's usually a good opportunity to stick with what's working on those ones. And hey, Caleb, hope you're doing. Hey, Michael, hope you're doing well. I've moved a majority of my portfolio into Algo, Cardano, and Atom with a Coinbase APY percentage. I've been slowly gaining and gaining every day. I think it will hold for long term. If it's working for you, it's working for you. Just make sure you have all of your information organized, and that way you can keep track of some of your positions if they've been doing well, been doing bad. That way, if they keep on doing well, you can keep on allocating funds to those positions. If they're not doing so well, you can hold off on allocating more of your hard-earned money into those coins, and you can actually spend some time just picking out some new coins that you might be looking for, whether they're on a FEMAX or a KuCoin or a BitGet or a Coinbase like you have yours. You have the opportunity to kind of have some money stocked up for any potential big drops. The way I like to kind of hold some of those like interest plays that you're talking about right now, I like to dollar cost average a little bit, but then I also have like a little bit of a pot of money I'm just always waiting to spend. So whenever we have a major crash, pot of money, attack. And then, if you watched the video a couple days ago where I did like the full day of, just really deep dive technical analysis for Bitcoin, we did the clusters. Or if you watch the cluster video I put on my channel, those clusters are great opportunities for you to kind of toss those little bit of holdings that you have into those coins. And hey, Pepin, Mike, is it possible that the worst is behind us? We possibly already hit the bottom, and the Fed is just so late with data. We already ahead of the curve already. I'm trying it. Well, it's my natural bullishness. I mean, yes, it is possible that we've already hit a bottom. I mean, it really is possible that we've already hit a bottom, and that we're just going to be moving on from here. And the thought process behind that from a technical perspective, right? There you go. we all know that whenever the NASDAQ breaks, this is a monthly chart. We all know that when the NASDAQ breaks down below its 200 weekly moving average, we just have a very, very bad time. But there are plenty of times where we tap on it during a market and we just keep on going up to new highs, even though we have a bad time beforehand. Over here with COVID, we almost got close to it, but then we kept on going back up. There is a, it wouldn't be crazy to say, hey, we're coming pretty close to this. All we have to do now is break out and then we're scot-free, right? That's what everybody's hoping for. If you look at this monthly chart here, you could probably even apply this to a weekly chart if we're lucky. As well, there's a few different ways we can do this. Let me see, will this one work the best? Might work, I don't know. It's probably not going to work the way we want it to work. Yeah, that's gonna be hard. We kind of had a false breakout there, but yeah. This is an index, that's why, but still. Okay, I won't use this example necessarily, but basically, we're trying to hold on above the 200 weekly moving average and make our way back up to all-time highs down the road. You can think this, I'll just tell you this. You can have that mindset until we break down below the 200 weekly moving average. And we may never break down below the 200 weekly moving average this year or even next year if somehow the American economy can stay strong and, despite of all the other headwinds that we have as far as the economy is concerned. So I would say, yes, you could be bullish. You could be one of those people that says, hey, we found our bottom. We're not going any lower. Yes, you can be, and you're not going to be considered crazy for thinking that because we're still above the 200 weekly moving average. If we, let me just make this a 2-month chart so everything kind of squeezes down a little bit nicer. 2-month chart, okay, with the 200 weekly moving average. As long as we can stay above this, we're happy-go-lucky. The moment we drop below it, that's where things get a little bit nasty really, really fast. So, as we look at this 2-month chart, I mean, this is a 2-month chart, so please don't put as much stock into it as I'm about to, but we could easily just have a reversal, come back up, and retest for a double bottom here, and then all of a sudden, we're looking to go break out and have a good time, and then we go into September, we'll go into next year looking very, very strong, very, very happy. Then, we also have the opportunity that we're just doing a dead cat bounce, and we're just waiting to go down. So there's opportunities there. Get ready for whatever thing happens. There's a reason why, even if the market decides to crash like it did in 2008 during that recession or 2001 dot-com bubble, even if Bitcoin crashes to 14,000, 10,000, or that ultimate low level of 17,000, 7,000. Let me go over here to the Bitcoin chart. Right. Even if we break down below all these levels of resistance and support, and we find our way all the way down to here to 15,000, or we come all the way down here to that lowest level of support from the clusters with the Fibonacci levels at like 7,000 to 6,000, even if I doubt we're going to make it this low, but even if we did make it down this low, I'm still going to be buying and dollar cost averaging the entire way, because I know eventually when the big banks are behind crypto and everybody's behind crypto, all the institutions, we're going to be hitting hundreds of thousands of dollars for Bitcoin, and altcoins will be going freaking sky high, having the time of their lives. But, let's say we have the bottom already and we just manage to trickle way back up here, and then we just kind of do a whole bunch of nothing, then we kind of skyrocket. I will have, no matter what, have a large position down here designed to make me money once we rally up, no matter when that rally actually occurs. So, there, you can think that without feeling like you're crazy with that. Like, personally, you can think that all you want. It's not like a bad thought, right? Just keep an eye on the economy and what happens as winter kind of approaches and as 2023 comes on, because for some reason, every CNBC reporter keeps on saying that 2023 is going to be a horrible year for us, a really, really bad year, as all these lagging effects of Jerome Powell is kind of catching up. But yeah, it's not a crazy thought to have that. In fact, like while I'm here, guys, let me get out of this one. I don't want to mess up this chart. This one has a whole bunch of data on it that I lost once. I don't want to lose it again. There you go. Let me just let me go over here very fast. Let's get up the house. let's do this. Okay. CNBC. Now, this is a very, very bearish outlook of the economy. This is just one individual, so put this stock in there. That's just one individual. This article about to read because I haven't read it, but the headline just does not look good already. So it says Steve Hanks says we're going to have one whopper of a recession in 2023. I don't think it's going to be a whopper of a recession. At least I hope it's not. So I think it might be something more of a moderate recession, right? Where it's not as bad as the 2008 financial crisis, but still pretty bad. Still pretty rough. So he's saying the U.S. economy is going to fall into recession next year, according to Steve Hank, a professor of applied economics at Johns Hopkins University. And that's not necessarily because of higher interest rates. We will have a recession because we've had 5 months of zero M2 growth, money supply growth, and the Fed isn't even looking at it, he told CNBC's Street Science Asia Monday. Excuse me. Market watchers use the broad M2 measure as an indicator of total money supply and future inflation. M2 includes cash, checking, and savings deposits and money market securities. In recent months, money supply has stagnated, and that's likely to lead to an economic slowdown, Hank warned. We're going to have one whopper of a recession in 2023, he said. Meanwhile, inflation is going to remain high because of the unprecedented growth in money supply in the United States, Hank said. Historically, there has never been sustained inflation that isn't the result of excess growth in money supply, and pointed out that money supply in the United States saw unprecedented growth when COVID began 2 years ago. That's why we're having inflation now, and that's why, by the way, we will continue to have inflation through 2023 and going into probably 2024, he added. Let's see. The bottom line is we're going to have stagflation. We're going to have the inflation because of this excess that's now coming into our system, he added. The problem we have is that the Fed Chair Jerome Powell does not understand, even at this point, what the cause of inflation are and were, Hank said. He's still going on about supply side glitches. He said, adding that he's failed to tell us inflation is always caused by excess growth in the money supply, turning the printing press on. So his point is Jerome Powell is still really focused on inflation from a supply side point of view, and not so much he's not really focusing on the point that he was printing money like crazy. Okay, that's a very valid argument if you ask me. Actually, Jerome Powell was definitely more. It's because Jerome Powell can blame himself for printing money, but he doesn't want to blame himself. He wants to blame somebody else. Supply chain issues, COVID, this thing we couldn't control, right? It kind of makes sense. But I don't think it's going to be like super, super bad. If it is, oh gosh, we're all kind of screwed here, right? But that's kind of the more bearish argument from a fundamental standpoint of why people are so bearish on the economy, why they are so bearish on everything else going on as far as, let's just say the American economy, right? The European economy is in a whole different spot. They have some really bad cost of living issues that are really hampering down their economies, which is kind of messed up, right? And there's no easy fix for them because they've kind of done these policies. They set up their policies for a while in this way where they rely on Russia for energy. And now that Russia's turned off the energy, they're kind of stuck to the point where they're going to have to ration their energy out for the winter. And if the winter is not too bad, it'll be bad, but not, not terrible. If the weather is really, really bad and really, really cold, and there's going to be some really rough times in Europe ahead for those countries that are very, very cold. Because I don't know how the Europeans have their energy grid set up. It might be country by country. It might be the whole one national grid. I don't know, but it's just not looking so good for them at this moment in time. And that's like a cancer that's going to be spread across to America. If you guys have ever watched Too Big to Fail, it's a movie. The Europeans called our financial crisis a cancer that was infecting their country. It'd be kind of like the reverse effect, like their cancer infecting America. See. And hey, again, Island Time, happy to see you back. And hey, Puma, what's up, Mike? Hope you're feeling better. I am. I'm still a little bit sick. I still have some coughs coming up, but overall, I'm doing pretty well. What's with this Bitcoin spike, double bottom on the weekly? Exactly. We were just talking about this, I think, 2 days ago. There was the time to buy. I told you guys if you wanted to take the opportunity there. I did not. Yes, double bottom happening right now, or attempted double bottom right now. And we have the dollar index just slowing down just a little bit. And it might be slowing down for either 1 week going into the Sunday, right? Or it might be going down for a few weeks here, leading us to hopefully go back up to 25,000, something like that. Hopefully just the 20-week moving average, where we're most likely going to get rejected from there. But yeah, it's a big technical play right now. And we're happy that the stock market also found a little bit of a rebound here as well. So yeah. And hey, Joseph, more millionaires are made during a recession than any other market cycle. Yes, but the people that are able to become millionaires off of a bear market are the ones that have capital to spend during a bear market. You know, if everybody that spent all this crazy money during the all-time highs for crypto over the past couple of years, if they would have just saved all that money and bought crypto like right now, and they just leave it a couple years from now, a few years from now, they're going to be so happy, golden. But they don't, because, you know, that's not the way that psychology works. So right now, everybody's like dollar cost averaging, buying back into the market, having fun with it, understanding that down the road, they're going to make a lot of money. But right now, just take your time and enjoy watching the charts go up and down, and take your time to learn how to do some trading. See. And hey, Mr. Joker, I think the spike is just a big fake out. I think it'll flag bearish and crash so hard later tonight or tomorrow. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. We're still having issues getting above this GAN-FAN level. That's what I've been looking at more likely, the GAN-FANs. But, for most people don't use GAN-FANs on their charts. So what I would say is you can always just use the 200 moving average on the 4-hour chart. If we can break above that, we have an opportunity to go to 22,000, maybe even 23,000. But if we're not able to get above that this weekend, yeah, we're going down pretty hard. Might be a good opportunity to, there are plenty of people right now taking opening short positions right now, hoping that we come crashing down to below $20,000 again. Probably by Sunday, probably not happening tomorrow, as far as like going back down to 19,000 or something like that. What's right here? And hey, Joel, I'm using the fib to swing trade Netflix, and I bought a call for the week. Do you see a breakout for Netflix? Let me see if there's a breakout happening for Netflix. I don't know. I know. I see you there, Loki. I see you. Okay, let me go over here to the daily. Let's get these moving averages back onto where they need to be. Okie dokie. Daily chart. Depends on what you mean by a breakout. So let me take a quick peek here. So there is a breakout happening, but probably not looking too pretty on this daily chart here. It's breaking out above the 20-day moving average here. That's kind of nice to see. It looks like you might have to go over here to the 2-hour chart, perhaps. Kinda, yeah. This is a little bit more rough, isn't it? Okay, now I know why I had all that other stuff so freaking dimmed down here. All right. So you're seeing this smaller breakout happen right here. So yes, you do see a breakout happening. It's not going to be necessarily a very strong one unless the market can continue to pump it up here. So yes, there is a breakout. It's just a very small breakout, one that usually lasts about 2 to 3 days, and it's only on the first day. So you might have 2 to 3 more days after that. Let's see. My concern for this right now is that we're heading for a death cross happening sometime around September 16th, around the strike of the workers, and also around Jerome Powell's speech time. What I'd be looking at here is probably best to try this one out. There you go. That one's not looking as nice as I want it to, so let me see if I can click this out. No, we still got a lot of room left over, yeah. All right, well, you have some resistance all the way up here around 246. I would actually look at some resistance up here around 237, so like around $3 to $4 away above from where it is right now. Let me see if I can find a longer Fibonacci extension level here that's going to be a little more graceful, or I shouldn't say graceful, more accurate. No, got resistance right there. You got some resistance up there. Resistance right there. Yeah. Yeah, you might have to deal. Oh, that's exactly where that point is we just talked about here. So yeah, around 237, you're going to be facing some resistance. So you might scale it a little bit there just because this is going to be a little bit more tricky because Netflix is a little bit more tricky than normally. But you can see I traded a breakdown from it right here, and it really didn't come down as fast as I wanted to. The problem with options, of course, is you have to worry about theta and time decay. That's what I'm trying to figure out here, the timing for it. Let's do this very fast. So that worked a little bit. You know, I might scale out anywhere between $237 and $243, and I might be in this for just at most 4 or 5 days for that call here. But I think there's an opportunity for it to break out, and hopefully I'd be looking to scale the majority of it out above $240. So let's say 242 or so. I think that'd be fine. Maybe 241 if you want to hold on a little bit longer. But yeah, the opportunity's there. I think the call will probably do fine. Just be careful and watch out for this death cross. It'll most likely teeter back down. Maybe not next week, but the week after that one. So it depends on how long those options are for you as far as they expire. Let's see. And then Joker, I just learned that last night they're going to burn BNB quarterly until they have burned half of the total original supply. Oh, that's crazy. And they aren't even halfway done yet. Might be wise to load up on the bear market for gas. That might be kind of interesting there. Yeah, so that might be kind of interesting right there to buy some up. I mean, I own some, so yeah, I don't really buy it like enthusiastically, but I think it'd be worth buying some more. I mean, to this day, BNB is probably one of my best plays, but that's because I bought a whole bunch of BNB when Binance was new, because I was like, oh, they're giving me a sale on using it. Why not buy some? So yeah, but I think it'd be worth buying some more there. Small amounts, but if they're going to be burning a whole bunch of coins, I think it'll be fine. And I think Binance is going to be, or BNB is going to be there for a long time. Come bull market season, it'll be a great return on your investment and a safe return on your investment because Binance isn't going anywhere. And hey, Anonymous, thank you very much for the super chat, my man. I really do appreciate it. And hello, Michael Tickers, STN and CHGG. What do you think of these two? Did some research. STN, Warren Buffett holds it, and Chegg seems okay. Holding a bag of CHGG at the break even, and STN. At break even on STN. Okay. What's your insight? As far as STN, let me check that one out first. STN. Okay, it looks like it's reached some all-time lows here over the past few months. That's not a good sign, but it has bottomed out. So if you were ever going to buy this over the past few months, does seem like a good opportunity. You're pretty lucky here because we actually had a top neckline. We didn't actually come down fast enough to actually, cause a double top and have a neckline here. Nor were we really facing a major reversal here, which is kind of nice. So we're kind of good in that regard here. What I'd be looking at going forward is your basic support levels. Probably the best to be looking at this one right here. Wait for a consolidation period, see if we can break out. As long as the market doesn't crash over the next 3 to 4 months, you actually do have an opportunity for us to get back above $15 for like a 50% profit. That'd be really nice. You're going to be hoping that we can consolidate and then break out above the 50-week moving average, and leading us back into a golden cross between the 20-week and the 50. This will take some time. The real big move will probably happen after November, closer to December, or even in 2023. That's nice to see. As far as the daily chart, let me see what's going on here with the daily chart. Golden cross did a little bit here. Death cross did a little bit there. So they're not having too big of an impact here. So as far as whether you're buying them is a good thing, it looks like right now, just off of STNE, relative to where the price has been in the past, it looks fine to me. It really does. But what I would actually do a deeper dive in, which I'll do for you in a second here, is actually looking at what the company actually does. So the Cayman Islands, not United States. That's important. Doesn't mean it's bad, but it's just important to know that they're not in America. So the technology software application, let me check out the website very fast to see a little bit what they do. helping you turn opportunity into successful business. Through technology, we provide solutions that help entrepreneurs increase their sales and productivity, becoming more effective. IPO'd in 2018. Not your ordinary point of sale solution. So if you guys have ever worked with retail, I hate it, but I have worked in retail. It's called college. POS stands for point of sale. So it's like the software they use to when they're pushing those buttons and stuff, point of sale. Companies like Macy's have really bad point of sale systems, while the people that have iPads in downtown, they're pretty simple because the things they have to do are totally different. Some have to be more computerized and some are just more for like the aesthetics of them. Stone was born to assist customers from all over Brazil with the best technology on the market. So Brazil, okay. So what do they do? Yeah, solutions for small and medium-sized businesses, strategic operations in all Brazilian states. So it looks like this is his play to get into emerging markets somewhere in Central America and South America. Now I guess I should just say South America because I don't know exactly where they're at besides Brazil, but. Let's see. I want to see their careers, but I gotta figure out how to operate this website. Oh, it's in Portuguese too. So yeah, this is definitely in Brazil only. Okay. 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 They might not have any jobs available because this is too hard to find a job, and I'm not looking. I want a job, but I don't want a job that bad, right? This is his play for emerging markets. It looks like it's South America, most likely Brazil. Brazil is going to be growing a lot over the next couple of decades, so I do think this is going to be a solid play. As long as Brazil's economy continues to kind of grow over time, even if we have a recession, whatever, as long as it continues to climb, it seems like a solid hold. Even with the pain it looks like it's been incurring over the past few months, it still seems like a solid hold to me. This is a longer term play, it looks like for me, though. It looks like a much longer term play as they try to fix up their economy to help all the poor people out there over there. Now, as far as the other one you were just talking about here, CHGG. Chegg, I own some of this myself actually, so I actually bought this over here back in June. Let me see. You're at a gap point right now, which is going to be a little bit more of a concern because this is usually where you're going to see a reversal happen in the price action of the stock. Earnings looked like they were good though, so that's actually pretty nice to see. The weekly chart looks solid, breaking above the 20. Yeah, it does okay in the short term, although it was a false breakout. Death cross there. Oh yeah, that death cross was nasty. Death cross there wasn't too good either. Golden cross though, that's what you want to see on the weekly chart. All right. This one I like a little bit more just from a chart perspective. I think it's fine. You're kind of in this nice flag right now. Doesn't have to be exact at this point, but you can see right there. Right? You're in this nice upward trend. You're getting close to the top of the trend, which means it should be dropping back down towards 21 bucks over the next few weeks here. That's fine. You might even be able to, well, depending on how this plays out, right? It may even go a little bit higher, but you may be able to have another pattern within here to actually do a little bit of day trading in. Again, wait for the consolidation to happen. Play the breakouts as you want to. Going to be a crazy amount of shorts happening if it breaks down below this red line, though, just so you know. But as far as what they do, that's going to be the big thing. If you're going to be holding on to these for a while here, that's going to be the big thing. Because Buffett's always a long-term holder until he's not. Consumer defensive. Oh, okay. Learn with Chegg. From first day to finals, get homework help, exam prep, and writing support tailored to your courses. Oh, okay. Homework help. Okay, so what is 90% on textbooks, expertise side, subscription model. That's nice. I mean, I think that's a good topic. I think it'll do fine in the long term. And I'm in my brain right now. I'm just calculating a whole bunch of stuff of like, how good is this? How necessary is this going to be? And I would think this is going to have a broader appeal as time goes on, as parents realize how much damage COVID lockdowns did to their kids. Because what I'm thinking about here is, I went to private school growing up, and it's it was pretty good private school, and they have different rules and different priorities and stuff like that. Well, my sister goes to the same private school I did, obviously both on scholarships because my parents weren't, my mom wasn't very wealthy, of course. But as I'm thinking about this, my sister, we have some cousins who go to public school. My sister went to school for she was in school for a long, months and months and months before public school kids went back to school and learning. Okay. And my sister knows a lot more than her cousins right now because of that. I mean, she already learned more because it was private school, but still, her education wasn't stunted hardly in many ways. At first it was when they went online like anybody else, but I'm thinking a project like Chegg, if that's how you pronounce it properly, I think this will most likely get more appreciation from parents and those people in college too that were kind of damaged in a way. Their educational growth, I guess you want to go, development, was damaged by I don't know what you want to call it, student unions, or not student unions, teachers unions, I guess. That's what it was in Washington, that one of the schools closed down even though they got all the money for everything. I would say this is going to be more crucial over time. And I do think it may have an interesting future. The chart looks more bullish for this one, but my heart kind of goes with the other one, the STNE one in Brazil. But that's because I kind of want to see Brazil grow and be more of a flourishing economy. But I think this is very practical for America, and it's like $16 a month. I think it'll do good. And from what I know about them so far, which is very little, I do think there's an opportunity for them to actually start advertising. And if they can just start having a massive advertising campaign, if they can bring on another investor, I honestly think this will be pretty well. If inflation goes down, even if people are losing jobs and stuff like that, if the economy is just kind of staggering along, okay, I think people would want to, help their kids out or help themselves out with learning some tools and educational things, educational topics. Depends on how useful these educational topics are. That's kind of a really big caveat here, but I think they're both solid plays, technical wise. Chegg looks like it's getting more favoritism from the market, probably rightfully so, because it's more practical, not in the Cayman Islands, not just in Brazil. However, I'll say, I think for future growth, I would say that STNE probably has more possibilities, although Chegg is more practical, I guess I would say. But if I was to choose which one to buy right now, it most likely would be STNE, because it's so much more oversold than Chegg. Chegg is heading that nice upward trend. I don't want to mess with that. I would have wanted to buy it a long time ago, not now, when it's already been kind of moving up after that low point ahead. And hey, Anonymous, trying to get a Chegg and hold STNE long term. Got a large chunk of my savings in those two. Yeah, good luck on both of them. They look like they're pretty solid plays, and it looks like it's going to be a lot easier to get at a Chegg than if you were an STNE right now as well. Chegg is on a nice uptrend. You have a good chance to get out of it, I believe. Just since it isn't that nice uptrend right now, just be careful of when it starts to tilt over and it starts to break out of the upward trend. That's where you're most likely to see some dangers happening there. Let's see. It'll be a quarter pounder with cheese of a recession. I mean, probably. I mean, apparently, Burger King is going to do a whole massive renovation of all their not McDonald's, Burger Kings. It's gonna be. I'm going to be excited to see what they do. I haven't had Burger King in forever, but I know they had the Whopper. Do they have the Whopper? Yeah, they're the. No, is that Jack in the Box? I don't know. I don't go to eat fast food anymore. No. Let's see. And hey, Miss Joker, I swear that 1 second chart trips me out every time. That thing is so intense, so cool but intense. I know it can be pretty crazy. I'm thinking of taking off the 24-hour Bitcoin stream for a couple days and putting on the Luna versus Luna C stream back up there. Hope that might do some good work there. Because something weird happened. You guys know I tried to get a couple of other streams up the other day, and I paid the $50, but when I tried to log into them, both of them messed up. And I think they might have been having some server issues, but I frankly just asked for my money back, and I'm going to try a different server platform now because it was a big pain in the butt. And even my other stream was acting up a little bit the other day, my Bitcoin Ethereum stream. So I might have to move those 24-hour streams to other ones, but I won't move the streams off until I find another alternative for the 24-hour stream servers, because they're like $20 $50 a month or something like that each. See. And yes, the 1 second chart is awesome. I love it so much. And hey, Skull Guy, I don't know, but different theories on American European connection. Some say it's European cancer spread to America. Yeah, I mean, right now that's what it is. Right now that's what it is. Remember, guys, America, we're so nice to a fault. In olden times, we would kind of let other countries suffer off of their own mistakes, and we're like, hey, we know you're suffering, but after all said and done, we'll help you rebuild, and we'll help you out a little bit. But that's not really our problem unless you can kind of find a way to make it worth our while, right? Because if we help you out, our own citizens are going to suffer. Since then, we've kind of moved on as a people or a country, I don't know what you want to call it, where now we're more willing to give up our good lifestyle to help others in need, more charitable, I guess, if you will. Some people like that, some people don't. It's been kind of weird because no matter how you vote, that seems to kind of always go the same way, right? I think the big thing going on right now is the Ukraine-Russia war. I was really happy when the Afghanistan war ended because I thought we'd be saving a lot of money as a country. And I just kind of had a little bit of a glimmer of hope. If maybe we're not spending like trillions of dollars over in Afghanistan, maybe we can just not spend that money over there. Maybe we might spend part of it doing something else, whatever. The government, like the military, loves the money. But maybe we could just not spend it, or it could be reallocated to some other programs like education, like way behind certain countries as far as education is concerned. We kind of bolster up some of those public schools, or just something more useful, clean up the inner cities, who knows, build high-speed rail, who knows, right? But all of a sudden, this Ukraine war happened, and all of a sudden, we are spending like hundreds and hundreds of billions of taxpayer dollars on Ukraine. Now, I'm not here to say that's good or bad, but man, we always we're a very helpful nation, but it's going to be interesting to see how this kind of plays out over the next few years. If we're in a recession and we're still sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine instead of spending all that money to help out Americans, the homeless veterans, that same argument that's like tested in time, whatever. It will get more heated as time goes on, but we're much more nicer than we used to be as far as spending money, because I guess maybe nowadays money doesn't go as far as it used to. That's why we just kind of send billions and billions of dollars. Let me see very fast. So yeah, you guys can see this, I think. So this is the U.S. Department of Defense. All right. I can find it. Okay. Since January of 2021, the United States has committed more than $13.5 billion in security assistance to Ukraine. Okay. So that's not a little bit of money. Now, I know we are just spending trillions of dollars over here in America. I know, but we're going to have to pay back eventually. But, we do our good kind of, and it's going to have the expensive Americans good, but, we're hoping it all balances out, I guess. But yeah, right now it's the European cancer coming over here. Before it was our cancer going over there. I don't know if the Europeans are going to be able to accept that this time, though. And hey, Christine, I know I considered resubscribing to Netflix the other night, so maybe, guys, I thought about unsubscribing to Netflix, but like I pay for everything for my family. So you know, I'm single, I don't have any kids or anything like that, but my sister and mom are upstairs since my mom had a stroke, and to keep her kind of happy, I got Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu. I almost got rid of I got rid of Hulu for a little bit. I got it back just for some show with the wall. I forgot what it's called. HBO Max for Game of Thrones stuff. And HBO Max actually just has a bunch of good content out there, plus Studio Ghibli. Crunchyroll for anime. Spotify for music. Apple for music. YouTube Premium for no ads. I mean, like I spend over $100 something bucks every month just on streaming platforms, but I feel like it's still better than cable. But if you go to my TV right here, the funny thing, like LG TVs have this like weird thing built into them. So like I could go over here and I can go to TV, and there's like an antenna built in within the TV. I don't know if you guys can see this here. Hold on a second. Probably push mute. Yeah. And so if I go to guide here, there's like a whole bunch of free channels that are built into my TV for free. And I like watching cooking channels a lot. And if you guys have ever watched Xfinity, Xfinity doesn't have 4K content, but my TV has their free 4K cable networks, which is like 4K. Like, you know, 4K is just a lovely thing to watch. Don't get me wrong, if you guys have 1080 TVs or HD TVs, it's not bad at all. But what do you call watching? I don't even know. I gotta find the food networks. Okay, I'm not gonna spend the time to do this because I haven't done it in a while. But like, you know, watching the PGA Tour in 4K, it's a pretty awesome experience. Looking at the greens, the grass, that type of stuff, it's really cool. Let's see. Go to the art gallery for now. But what do you call sunny day? Okay, there we go. All right, but what do you call it? It really I've never thought I would love watching 4K content on cable, but like just that antenna, like guys, it's absolutely amazing. But it's only on LG TVs for some reason. I'm pretty sure Sony might be working on it too. But there are flat out YouTube channels that have their own YouTube video streaming 24/7 as channels. Like there's a really good cooking channel on there. I'm not gonna tell about it anymore, but it's great. It's absolutely great. Let's see right here. And hey, Caleb, use that 20% discount. That seems freaking awesome to buy their stock at a discount. You'd be buying it and selling it, buying it, selling it over and over and over again. Let's see. And hey, Christine, what do I think about 1 hour on LUNAC? It's well, let me just talk about it very fast. That's not LUNAC. Okay, here we go. So as far as LUNAC is concerned, on the 1 hour, I mean, if it can fall down a little bit more, I'd be happy to start an accumulation phase. But man, this is completely YOLO money. It's a Friday night, everybody. This is the money I'd be spending if I went out to the casino. I would not be putting any of my like formal trading money behind this play right now. But if I want to have fun with it, yes, I would say you probably want to accumulate around 0.0049 and see what happens on the. But you're looking like you want to be squeezed, frankly, between the 20 and the 200 there. Same type of concept here between the 20 and the 50 as far as the LUNAC is concerned. Yeah, it's an accumulation phase right now to see if it can break out even higher. It had such a violent drop that it's going to be hard for it to have a big spike anytime soon. It might have to consolidate for about a day or two before making a really volatile move. I could be wrong about that timing, though. I have not been watching Luna too closely. But what I would say is you really want to pay attention to some of these Fibonacci extension levels, because the Fibonacci extension levels have been really crucial in making some good profits with this. I think earlier we did, which ones did we do? Is it this one? High to low. Yeah, so hit the one price target right there. And I think we did another one like this. Yeah, there we go. So you can see we actually hit the top level of this resistance. It doesn't go up any higher than that. We ran up all the way to the top. We're cooling off a little bit. I don't know how far we're going to cool off, but I mean, we could easily start dropping back down quite a bit. So we want to be very, very careful about this. I would say if you want to avoid any major danger, just be careful of what happens around September 13th. If this thing is still falling, it'll most likely break down below the 20-day moving average over the next few days here, like around the 12th, 13th, maybe 14th. And if it breaks down below that, it's just going to be rough. On the other hand, I mean, I think most people are just going to be waiting for it to break down below the 50 moving average on the 4-hour chart, to be honest. That's going to be a big signal to be like, hey, time to sell, short, short, short. But, right now it's okay, but this is a casino play right now, so be very, very careful if you do want to go in with a substantial amount of money. See, and hey, GT, that will need to change. Every school needs to be on the same standards. I mean, as far as what I've seen, like, from I was in public school for part of my life, then private school. Private schools have to do what the parents want, because like they're literally being paid tens of thousands of dollars by parents. So I went to this school on scholarship. My sister goes on scholarship, so of course, like the parents are parents. Like my mom doesn't have as much say there, but for the parent that's paying $30,000 a year, they have a say in how their kids are taught. They are taught very heavily in math, sciences, computer science. If you want something fun, they have photography club, they have ceramics, they have digital art. But I mean, I learned freaking Old English in that school for like a few weeks, and it was horrible. So you learn like Old English, I mean, you're like 2 grades above the actual person. My cousins maybe have a half an hour to an hour of homework every night from the school. My sister has 2 to 3 hours of homework every night. If a public school gave their a kid 3 hours of homework every night, you would have parents really getting mad at the school district and the parents. At a private school, it's expected that the kids are being educated more aggressively than a public school. That's why they're sent there, right? There's too much going on where like it's just not an easy thing to get the schools to kind of align. One of my favorite teachers was when I was in a public school, elementary school in 5th grade, Miss Sterling. I was a mischievous little kid growing up. She's the one that straightened me out basically and told me I could become anything I wanted to. I don't have to be stuck in the ghetto. I can actually be something in my life. And she was very, very good at it. She helped me like get my life. Well, I wasn't like a terrible child technically, but I wasn't an A+ student until I got into her class, and she worked me like, go, you got this basically, right? But once I got that work ethic down, then I was able to go to a public school called McElvey for the next year. Before I went to private school in my 7th year, public school in 6th grade. It was terrifying. Remember, guys, I lived in the ghetto. My mom used her job address as my address to make me go to the wealthy white school district. Okay, otherwise I'd be in the ghetto with horrible teachers. Since I had to transfer to a public school, like another school, once you go from 5th grade to 6th grade to middle school, I was sent to McElvey. Now McElvey is now McElvey is hold on a second here. I don't know how to do this. Now McElvey is another school called First Creek Middle School. Yeah, First Creek. But before, like, this school was like I got 2 buildings and a whole bunch of what do you call those things? They're like little rooms, but they're not like actually buildings. Portables. All my classes were in portables. And then there was a lockdown every other week because of gunfire and shootings in the forest back here. Because I used to live over here in the ghetto. They've actually rebuilt all the houses, so they're kind of like decent now. Still the ghetto, but like nice houses, so it's like not as ghetto-ish. But basically, it was just a really rough school, and I didn't really learn much there. But going from that public school that was all rich and white to this one that was all like ghetto, I was in the advanced students program because I was so smart, even though I was just kind of a standard level of education, like in another neighborhood. So when I was able to go over to Charles Wright here for, I don't even know where it is, high school, there we go, Charles Wright Academy, private school, field, dome, tennis courts, parking, elementary school, middle school, English department, language departments, high school. It's a very small school, but man, I mean, if every kid's paying $30,000, I mean, it's so nice that Oak Brook, they get discounts to go golfing. I mean, like, you're a rich school when you get discounts to go golfing, for heaven's sakes. But I wish I would have learned to golf. I don't think parents really know what they want from their kids' education. Some parents do, but like, I got 3 hours of homework every night, and this was my life. I woke up at 5:30 in the morning. I got ready to go to school. I left at 6:30, got to school at 7. From 7 to 8, I'd be doing homework I wasn't able to do the night before. At 8:15, classes would start. From 8 o'clock to 3:30, I would be at school, or 3:15. From 3:15 to 3:45, I'd be getting ready for football practice or sports. Then from 4 to 6, I'd be doing sports. After sports, I had to get home around 6:30 to 7. Let's just call it 6:30. From 6:30 to 9:30, I would be doing homework on average. And then I would be going to sleep, frankly, and trying to play video games if I had the time, maybe call a couple friends, text a couple friends, see what they're doing. And then, I'd go to bed and start the whole cycle over. In the summertime, I did 2-a-day workouts every day for football. During football season, the coach made us do practice on Sundays. So, I mean, I'm used to just like ragdolling it around life or just working very hard. But like, I had a couple friends that went to public school. My gosh, the life they had is so much nicer. And you know what? It wasn't as stressful. I wish my high school life wasn't as stressful. But, once I got to college, easy. For some of them, it was easy, but for a lot of them, they struggled a lot with the college work, depending on which background they came from. So, I don't see the American educational system being fixed up anytime soon. We're kind of always focused on the wrong stuff. Like, we should be focused more on math and sciences. And then we should also have a more robust trade school system for mechanics, welders. Oh my gosh, welders can make so much money they don't even know, but nobody ever wants to weld because they think it's a dumb job. No, it's a great job. Pays a lot. So yeah, sorry for the rant about that, but yeah. Like, from kind of going from the public school system to the private school system, the parents are on a whole different level of what they expect from the school, from the kid. At Charles Wright, or my private school, when I went there as a kid, we learned about finances, managing budgets. We learned how to trade stocks by hand by learning how to calculate percentages for trading stocks. And then once we were able to learn how to calculate all the equations by hand, like buy, sell, what's the profit, basically, then and only then were we allowed to have calculators. But we were learning the value of the stock market in seventh grade, right? Like, you're just not going to see that from many public schools, at least the ones that I grew up with. The public schools can be like, I grew up in the 90s. Public schools nowadays are totally different than I'm accustomed to. But it's just something that's going to be very, very hard for the governments to do in the future. Let's see. And hey, Caleb, thanks to everybody for commenting and subscribing. I really do appreciate it. I very, very much do. It's right here. Hey, Mr. Joker. Yeah, it would be in the short term. I'm not even sure if I want to take the effort to do it. Excuse me. It all depends. I probably should have set it up a few days ago, but I'll see how it works out. I mean, I literally already had one up before. It's something I just do every now and again. And hey, Ken, a little off topic, but what do I think about the Rings of Power? I'm not a fan of it. I was really excited that they were going to have a more diverse cast because that was my only complaint about Lord of the Rings, even though it's like the only white people there in the books. But I was like, okay, we have some black people in it. I mean, like, I don't understand why Hollywood, whenever they put like black people, or not even black people, just like they kind of change up the system. I don't know, you want to call it like more woke, I guess is the term. Whenever they make something more woke, it's like the quality of the writing crashes. Like, you know how this is from a while ago, but you know Sigourney Weaver, she was in Aliens, a brilliant female actor, did amazing work, absolutely fantastic. I loved it so much, and I didn't care that she was a woman or anything. It's just you don't care because you don't even notice that like the main character's woman. It's like it's a main character, right? I think about something more recent, the new Predator movie. Oh my gosh, that woman was freaking awesome. I'm like, I don't know her name, I'm sorry, but like awesome. Great writing, great acting, great everything. You come up to the Rings of Power, and man, I wanted to love it so much. It looks aesthetically so beautiful, but like the writing was so bad, and it made everybody that was acting look so bad. Like, I'm sure all these people are pretty decent actors, if not good actors, but the writing, the way they made them act, I was like, eh. And I'm used to like, so I've read a couple Tolkien's books. I'm used to what they're supposed to act like. And maybe because I just know what they're supposed to act like, I'm like, oh my gosh, you suck. And I guess that's what's happening with me right now. But I'm also comparing it to House of the Dragon, whatever it's called, from HBO, the new Game of Thrones show. That girl is awesome. That black guy is awesome. They made it more diverse and everything, and they're awesome. Like the writing, it's the writing. Maybe a little bit of the acting as well, but the writing, it sucks. It sucks. It sucks so much. It sucks so much. It sucks so much. I told one of my friends it sucked at while we're eating at dinner in Seattle, and I got lectured about how I was racist and sexist, and I was like, I'm not showing off my, I'm showing off like my skin color, and it gosh, yeah, Seattle's gone crazy. But yeah, it was just it was just Rings of Power. I wanted to like it. It's just not good. I'm rooting for the bad guys in Rings of Power, honestly, but I stopped watching after the second episode. They might have a third one out now. Let's see. Hey, Crowbar. It's mostly up there for kicks and giggles. I've used the second chart a couple times for trading before just to see if I can be more precise, and it has been pretty fun. The thing I don't like about using the second chart all the time is the fact that unless it's a stagnant, like a horizontal line, it doesn't accurately reflect where everything else is across the chart. So if I had two lines from the exact same point, so like if it was how do I do this? I won't even try to make it exact. Basically, if I had two charts and I drew a line that goes like this all the way to the point where we're currently at, right? You see that we're kind of like right there. If you put this on the second chart, you'd see that we're like in a totally different spot from this line. This line isn't accurate, and I need it to be very, very accurate. And this is only if it's a curve, like a slanted line. If it's a horizontal line, then it'll be 100% accurate. You don't have to worry about it. But the moment you make it slanted in any way, it gets very inaccurate. So I don't like to use it too much. But like, I don't know if I could see this properly. Let me see if I go over here to the daily chart. I guess we could just do it like this. I don't know if this will work or not. I'll see how it tests out. So let's go to the 1 minute chart. Oh, see, even there, see how it's it doesn't give you the high points. The more you go down in time frame, the worse it gets. Oops. But yeah, it's mostly just kicks and giggles. I use it every now and again when it comes to actually opening up a short on a breakdown level, but it's usually a major breakdown level that I'm looking for. It's rare that it comes up to that major level. Yeah, and I like the 15-minute, 4-hour chart as well. I also use the weekly charts and sometimes the monthly charts and daily charts as well, but the 4-hour and 15 is great for day trading. And hey, Christine, it's never too late to learn to golf. Um, I know I'm thinking of taking the time to join a golf club when I go to Nicaragua, and that way I can spend like an hour a day learning to golf, getting some exercise, walking around in the heat, and Loki can play with his brothers and sisters or something like that, or I guess his girlfriend. He's gonna have a lady friend. I'm gonna get him pretty soon. So that'll be fun, but it won't be until I think after I get down there. I think I'm gonna try to get him a King German Shepherd as a girlfriend, maybe a wife, and see how they do, kick it off, and they can make little pups, and I can have like 6 or 7 little Lokis running around. I'm gonna keep all of them, and I can afford the food for all of them, but they're all gonna be neutered after that. I don't want to have Loki and his girl make multiple litters here. Let's see. Hey, Ghost Rider. I mean, it works. I mean, well, it depends on the kid, I guess. But yeah, run, work. It works. I mean, it really does work. It really, really does work. Can't get a bike. And hey, Jesus, I haven't hopped on one of your streams in a while, but I'm holding. Hope all is well for you, fam. Take care. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Just getting over COVID here. It sucked, but it's been doing okay. I've been binge watching with my wife and kids. For the Rings of Power. I think it's worth watching the first 2 episodes to really see if you like them. I've been seeing a lot of people bash on the show without actually watching it. Give it a chance. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's not my cup of tea, but it doesn't mean I won't like casually watch it in the future if it just somehow opens up. But I'm not going to be actively waiting the day like, oh, I want to watch the show right when it opens up. I'm like, maybe if my mom wants to watch it, I'll watch it, because you guys know that I have the so I bought my mom, or I gave my mom my hand-me-down speaker system, which is just a sound bar and a subwoofer, right? It's my old Sony one. It was like, maybe it's a $500 set, so it's worth some money. But I bought a nice JBL one, which actually sucks compared to the Sony one I gave my mom. I really hate that I gave my mom that one. Should have gave her my JBL one. But you guys know I have the entertainment system right up there with the subwoofer, 2 floor standing speakers, the nice center channel. The center channel alone is like $700. So I love it a lot. But when you play a movie on there, whew, the house rumbles. You're getting all the feeling of the movie. You feel like everything's around you. The 5.1 sound is what I got. I thought about getting the 7.1, but honestly, I don't need ceiling speakers. I think that'd just be too much of a pain to get in there. And hey, GT, Raised by Wolves, I like it. I don't like the main character, Kid. He seems kind of whiny and privileged, but I like everybody in that show. I'm a big fan of the father character, and the kid, the atheist kid. I don't know what his name is, but the atheist kid, from the whose dad is like kind of the Viking dude. I like it a lot. I haven't watched the show in a long time because the season 2 came out a while ago, but I like the show a lot. Those creatures that are from the water, that was really freaky. But yeah, I like the show quite a bit. See. And hey, Joker. Oh, don't worry. I'm probably not going to take it away anytime soon here. I think the lunar trend has kind of already ran out. Maybe I can get some extra views if I wanted to, but I'm thinking of just making a permanent stream for them anyway. So just like an additional stream down the road. I just got to figure out what's going on with O-Bubble. They messed up a couple things for me, and I've been emailing them frequently, but I want to have more streams on, just like an extra 2 right now, but it's just a pain in the butt here. So I'll figure it out. Let's see. I suggested you get the JBL a while back. My bad, and good looking out because I was going to buy one. The JBL subwoofer is better than the Sony subwoofer. The JBL sound range isn't as nice as the Sony sound range. Although the Sony speakers that I bought were more expensive than the JBL ones. So it could just be if I got the same quality of JBL that I did Sony, it would actually match up pretty well, even exceed it. But the fact that the Sonys were like $500 and the JBL like maybe $300, I think that's where the disparity came. But remember, I have the 77-inch right here. I have a 75-inch in my bedroom. Do I really need to have crazy audio for a bedroom TV that's 77 inches? I don't really think so. Anytime I have like a friend over or a girl over, 75 inches is good. 77 inches is even better, right? Reclining automatic chair. I'm perfectly happy with what I have. But I'm an audiophile. Remember, I got these like Sony XM500,000 things. They're fantastic for recording and everything like that. But then I'm also getting the Sennheiser 4 Momentums pretty soon because they just sound even better than these apparently. And I don't really want to get into Audio-Technica because those things get really crazy expensive, like thousands of dollars for headphones. So I'm like, these in the hundreds, like $500 range, $400 range, awesome. Let's see. And hey, Tess, kind of like an 88, yeah, very fast here. 88 is not really doing anything too crazy. Let me see right here. It looks like I had to pop off a little bit, but that's not nothing. I guess 88 actually, that's a little bit more. That's a little bit better. Let's see. We got a nice support level here. I want to go to the 4 hours so I can see what this next level of trend line is going to be. Okay. Nice double top happened back in time here. Okay, so 4 hour chart. You're about to have another golden cross. That's kind of nice to see. On the daily, this is what I'd be looking for here. Some resistance, nice. No resistances, it just kind of popped off here. Let's go to the 15. Got choppy up here. No resistance up there. A little bit of resistance up there. Let me see. Is it gonna work? Hourly chart, maybe a little bit more. Okay. I would say watch out as it approaches like 52.5 cents, like a little bit more than where it is now. You might start to see a reversal around this time, especially as Bitcoin's facing some trouble. But let me go back over here. Let me make this a little bit longer one since we're looking at a longer move here. No, that's not the right one to use. Okay. Yeah, I might start scaling out around 54 cents or so. If you're looking for a bigger move over the next few days, it looks like 62 cents is going to be a really strong level of resistance for you. I might be like 50 to 60% out of all of my ADA holds around 57 cents if you're hoping for this to make a larger move. In the short term though, I would really be watching some of these more aggressive trend lines here. If they start to break down below these, I think you're going to be in some big trouble. But I think if I was to be having a stop loss right now, just to be safe, I might have a stop loss around, let's just call it even, around 50 cents. That way, no matter what happens, you're walking with some money if you manage to buy over the past few days. 2 days ago when I was talking to you guys about buying some plays. It looks okay, but it's just not matching up with many technicals that I like. That's fine. It's ADA. Normally doesn't match up with the technicals as well as some other coins out there. But you do have a... There you go. You have a breakout. You have an opportunity to see it go up even higher. I might start really scaling out around 56 to 58 cents. If it goes up even higher than that, awesome. But at least you're walking with some profit no matter what happens, moving up that stop loss along the way. And thanks, Tess. I'm happy to be back as well. And you like you like your Sennheisers? Oh, Sennheisers are freaking awesome. They're some of the best in the world, if you ask me. And yes, I think 88 does have a fork upgrade. I think I saw it on Reddit. I don't somebody double check that, but yeah, I am pretty sure I saw that on Reddit. Let's see, I like the Samsung sound. I got an 80-inch, and even without subs, it's pretty loud range. TVs have really good speakers these days. They really do. But there's something about having like the subwoofers, floor standing speakers, center channels, all of it. It just adds to the effect. With the whole house rumbling, it just feels great. I don't know how to explain it. It's like an immersiveness thing. But I also just listen to music as well. So it's nice to have this blasting so loud I can hear the music anywhere in the house whenever I'm cleaning or something like that. A lot of times I'm doing carpet cleaning. I think I'm going to actually be lazy next week and get Stanley's steamer to do my carpet cleaning. Hey, Ken, would Link be a good coin to dollar cost average into? Yes, I would say yeah. I would say yeah. I like it a lot. I tend to actually do smaller amounts of dollar cost averaging in a Link, and I try to buy more of it when it's crashing. So I don't know how many more crashes Link is going to actually have, you know, because we don't know if Bitcoin's found a bottom or not. But when Link crashes, I tend to like buying it at those pivot points for Bitcoin. So yeah, I regardless of which strategy you use, I do think it's a good opportunity to buy it for the long term here. I'm not buying it for a few weeks, so I'm definitely buying it for a few years now, though, at least until 2024, right? Till we might have this big move up with the market. The only thing I've been buying a lot of to have fun, is UFO coin and STMX quite aggressively, and that's because, as you guys know, these have made me a lot of money over the past. And I frankly tell you guys a lot, hey, I like this coin, or it popped up. Oh, I actually missed the opportunity to sell this one, didn't I? But it popped up, I sold, I bought it back again. Hey, it popped up again, I sold, I bought it back again, and now I'm just waiting to see what happens. All the meanwhile, just accumulating more coins for the long run here as far as UFO coin is concerned in STMX. But you really do have these big moves, like somebody is trying to do some day trading and somebody's buying some up here. But I think as far as STMX, we're looking to a closer breakout above the 50-day moving average here, and I want to see if we can have a golden cross and push our way back up to like 10 cents or so. Kind of a long shot here, of course, but if any coin can do it, it'd be STMX that has these like really aggressive push breakouts here, doesn't it? September 22nd. There we go. But okay, buddy, I'm going to call it a night here. It's been a good 2.5 hour stream. My voice is kind of starting to hurt, and I don't want to mess up my throat any more than I have to here. I'm still going to be taking it easy as far as COVID is concerned. I will see you guys, maybe not tomorrow unless something really crazy happens, but I think I will do a shorter stream either tomorrow or Sunday if I can. Again, probably not tomorrow, probably Sunday. But then I will be back up and normal, running at Monday through Friday at my normal 6 to 7 time, maybe even a little bit earlier than that if I can, okay? So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope we can make some money here over the next few days, everybody. Just, if I were you, I'd be paying attention to those Fibonacci extension levels and moving up the stop losses as needed. If you guys were able to buy a couple days ago when I told you it was a buying zone for the double bottom, you guys should be in good shape. If you guys are buying now, hoping that we continue to move up, awesome. Just try to buy at a support level, at a pivot point. Don't try to be buying at these all-time these relative highs here. It'll kind of damage you down the road because you'll be missing out on those buying opportunities whenever we have that next dip, okay? So everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys most